It looks hella
just
trappy.
had a messy Sunday date night. So
yeah, messy Sunday date night.
don't blame us.
Fuck it. It is what it is. This is hella trappy, hella ghetto right now. But whatever. All right. So what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. My name's Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, coming here with my beautiful wife.
Hi, I'm AKDI.
Yeah. And this is our Sunday tradition, live with AKDI. And yeah, let's just get into it. We're going to be here for an hour. Shout out to everybody who's been watching the movie reviews we've been doing. They've been very fun to do, and we plan to keep on doing them. Shout out to everybody who's been checking out the other content I've dropped on my channel this week. A lot of content came out, and also more is coming soon. So looking forward to doing that with all of y'all. I look hella grimy because I have not shaved.
You look cute.
No, I look crazy right now. I look absolutely crazy, but I've just been in the house, on a very long semi-vacation, doing some classes here and there. But yeah, let's get into it. So big news on the social media streets is Katt Williams doing the interview with Shannon Sharpe. And basically, he just called out everybody who he feels like is competition for him, everybody who has I guess wronged him in a way, or just like exposing the industry. And I watched all of it, and you watched
1 hour, and 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, like an hour and a half of it, like half of it, you would say. And then after that, we decided to watch the Kings of Comedy, the original Kings of Comedy with D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, Ced the Entertainer, and Bernie Mac, rest in peace. Then after that, we watched Katt Williams' special, Afterlife Priceless, right? The HBO special he did. And it was very dope. And yeah, so what we're going to do in this live stream is basically review the Kings of Comedy movie that we watched, directed by Spike Lee. Shout out to Spike Lee. And then we're also going to review Katt Williams' Afterlife special. So let's start off with the Kings of Comedy review. So yeah, generally I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, hella funny. Everybody brought it. A lot of highlights. It's like a classic movie. That's a classic movie that everybody loves. What did you think of it, though?
Yeah, I just want to say, before, all of this video, that I saw a couple of clips of Katt here and there on Instagram and stuff like that, and obviously I know Steve Harvey, and I know just a little bit of Cedric the Entertainer. I don't know the other two. I mean, I didn't know the other two guys, and I just came and did all of it not knowing the background of any of the people. But I enjoyed the Kings of Comedy.
Yeah,
I thought most of them were really good. I mean, all of them were really good, and I love Steve Harvey, and I don't know, I enjoyed it. It was dope.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a classic. Everybody was funny. Everybody was on their A game. I do have one person there who had a bad set. One person had a bad set, in my opinion. But let's go to each person's set. So the first person up, well, the host of the show is Steve Harvey. So Steve Harvey opens the show, and he's coming in between the different comedians, getting the crowd hype and stuff like that. What did you think of Steve Harvey's hosting skills?
He was good. He was getting the crowd in between sets. He was waking them up and doing songs and stuff like that. He was dope. He was good. And Steve Harvey's just one of those guys, I feel that could just make you smile and laugh with his energy. The way he says things and his facial expressions and stuff like that, he can just make you smile and laugh and make you happy.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I love him.
I think the best in between set, well, he had two that were real highlights. Steve Harvey did one where he was talking about rappers versus entertainers from the past.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny while we were watching, because he was complaining that new rappers today, everybody's got a microphone, but back then only one person had a mic. And then you said something I bet he only listens to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he says, and then he plays an Earth, Wind, and Fire song, and everybody stands up. He's got everybody singing along and stuff like that. But then he also used the power of hip hop that same time by doing something everybody put your hands up, then scream. And it's as somebody who loves hip hop, you would think I would be offended by that skit, but I actually wasn't, though, because it was he showed love in both cases, and it's okay to make jokes about hip hop and criticize it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Not everybody has to like hip hop, but
Yeah, and then there there was another part where one of the guys in front was leaving, but he left his jacket there.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was funny.
his name was Boogie, like the guy in the crowd. His name was Boogie, and then like he came back, and Steve was like, "Boogie, what do you do?" And Boogie said, "Oh, I do computer engineering." And Steve was like, "Boogie, we know, we know you don't do computer engineering." That was pretty funny though. That was good. That was good.
Yeah, I liked his sets.
All right. And then there was D.L. Hughley's set. So D.L. Hughley is the first comedian I was out. He was the guy. And everybody's suits were horrible.
Yeah.
Everybody was wearing like big ass like tablecloth suits.
I mean, that was the style back then.
I guess so, man.
I mean, yes, just for me, it's just too big, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, way too big. It was crazy.
Yeah, because when they have like the whole jacket and things, and they have like the big shoulders in the jackets and stuff like that, I feel like their heads look very small, and then they just like look very weird. And they have like these long pants that go all the way down to the floor, and it just looks like sticks of like mozzarella sticks.
Wow. Wow. No, I think they look like sails on a boat. Like if you put them suits on top of a boat, that boat was gonna sail to Asia.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But so D.L. Hughley went first. I thought his set was very good. I liked the part where he talked about basically he started roasting the crowd. I really liked the part when DL started like roasting the crowd and just like, look at your teeth. You got big teeth. You go down on a girl, you'll give her a hysterectomy. That was hard. That was hard.
Yeah. No, it was funny. It was funny, but I don't know about going to the audience.
No, why don't you? Why you don't feel comfortable? You feel like you would get roasted?
Maybe, yeah.
It's just jokes. Why would you be scared to get roasted?
No, I wouldn't be scared. Like I would probably just laugh it off. But yeah, I don't know.
Dog, I know if I was in the crowd looking like this, I'd get roasted.
I paid $50 and I get roasted.
But now you become a legend. You're a legend now. You're that girl that got roasted by D.L. Hughley.
Great.
All right. Anyway, all right. So D.L. Hughley's set was pretty dope. Then after that came Said.
Yeah.
Said the Entertainer.
No, he was the third.
Then who came after him? I mean, Steve Harvey did his like.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Steve Harvey did like a good 15, 20 minutes or something.
Okay.
And then Said came.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to be honest with you. Said's set was not that hot.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, let's just say that he should not be like, people should not let him dress himself.
Damn.
It was so bad.
Damn.
He had the vest with the like, I don't know. It's all bad.
Wow.
It was bad. But, he was okay. His set was fine.
No, Said's set was pretty bad, in my opinion. Like, he had no jokes, a lot of setup and stuff like that. I guess the funny joke might have been like, white people hope, black people wish. White people hope nothing bad happens.
That was like the funniest one.
Black people wish a nigga would. That was funny.
Yeah. And like, I remember I forgot the joke because it was not that memorable, but he did like one joke and it got like a little bit of laughs.
Yeah.
And then he repeated his joke, like his punchline, and then it like got no laughs because it was sort of weird. Yeah.
I think maybe another good joke was like Jamaican music or reggae music always has a message. Like I got peanut butter, no job. Yeah. No job. That's okay.
That was good. I mean, I like his idea of like, incorporating music into his like show, like his set. And that was a good idea, but I don't know. I feel like you can be much more hilarious with music sometimes. Yeah, because music gets people up, it gets people grooving, and that's something that comedians don't do often, but when they do, it does make an effect, Yeah. Because I mean, Said set was just all right. It was definitely the weakest of the comedians out there. You know what I mean? If I had to rank it, I would say Bernie Mac had the absolute best set. Yeah. Then maybe Steve or DL. I would say Bernie, Steve, DL, and then Said. That would be my rating.
Yeah. Because Bernie Mac's set is just legendary. I mean,
it was funny like from the beginning to the end.
Yeah. Like when Bernie Mac came on, like a lot of the jokes are okay. We can admit they're like problematic. They're like super old and dated. You know what I mean? He's making fun of like, you know, kids. He's making fun of people with special needs. He's like roasting everybody. You know.
Yeah.
But it's just so raw. Like something about Bernie is just so raw and real that you just gotta love it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he says it himself. Like, you know, he says like people tell me, you know, like I shouldn't be saying that stuff, but I don't care.
I don't care. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's funny when he was talking about like, I'm 45 years old. You get good 3 minutes. That's it.
Yeah,
Talk about Bernie Mac can't fuck. I don't give a fuck.
That part was funny. You cracked up at the joke where like she's doing the disabled kid waiting for the bus stop.
No, man, that was hilarious. It's just hilarious, man. I think Bernie was special, good. Man. Rest in peace to him, man. I think he died of a heart attack, and he was only like what 50, something like that. So black men, we got to take care of ourselves. I don't want to go like at 55.
You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I got to go at 56. Can't be going at 55. No, but I'm gonna take better care of myself, especially in 2024. I've been working out. Out. That thing gonna get right. Yeah. But Kings of Comedy was dope. It's a classic. I really like how it was shot. There was a lot of like shots of the crowd and stuff like that, and it was good to see like people having a good time, laughing, all different types of people and stuff like that. But it was it when you do that in a comedy show, I feel like it makes it even funnier because sometimes you'll be laughing at the people in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like in Kings of Comedy, there's a guy who stands up and it looks just like Tupac. And you're like, what is Tupac doing?
And he's dancing to like, what, Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Yeah. You're like, what is happening? Why is Tupac at Steve Harvey's show? I thought you were dead.
Yeah, and then some lady like threw her panties to Steve.
Yeah, a lady threw her panties.
Someone said, why are you so hot, Steve? Or something
like Steve, that. Yeah, Steve, you so fine and stuff like that. Is Steve a sex symbol?
I know.
Steve Harvey, not even young Steve Harvey. That was like 25 years ago. No?
I mean, it's not my style.
Not your style.
I can understand the appeal of funny guys because, you know, they're funny guys.
Right.
Funny is sexy.
Why do women find funny sexy? Why is that?
Because everyone likes to laugh and like, you know.
Yeah.
Also, like, I feel like if you're really funny, then you're kind of smart too, because it takes some sort of like intelligence to create a joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
And make a joke of something. So I don't know. I would say like it's if a guy is like smart and making jokes out of like small things and little things and making you laugh, I would feel like he's also smart too.
How unattractive physically can a man be where his funniness can compensate for that? Like, I mean, how much more funnier would Ced the Entertainer have to be for you to like smash?
Really?
Like really more funny? Like 10 times funnier?
Yeah.
Okay.
It needs to be like Bernie Mac plus like no times 5.
Times 5. Yeah. He needs to be like Katt Williams times Bernie Mac and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
See, okay. All right. Interesting. But see, the thing is, for guys, like being funny is a plus, but it's not necessary. I feel like men more like a woman that will laugh at his jokes because every man tries to be funny because men try to be funny all the time.
Yeah.
So we want a girl who will laugh at our jokes, but if she does make us laugh too, that's just not as important. But I feel like for women, like you really want a guy to make you laugh.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like guys should like, you know, look for funny girls as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, Amy Schumer is pretty funny, but we don't want Amy Schumer.
Wow.
I mean, we can live with that.
So Amy Schumer can be as funny as she wants, but you would never like bang her.
No, not Amy Schumer. No, maybe Sarah Silverman. Yeah, you know Sarah Silverman. Mm-hmm. Where's your phone? We should have our phones out. Mm. Sarah Silverman is funny, and also she's kind of like attractive.
Mm. But I mean, yeah, but you gave me Cedric the Entertainer.
I did give you Cedric the Entertainer. I just wanted to push it. Okay, I just wanted to
so
see.
You can't have someone funny and kind of hot.
Okay, yeah. All right, okay. But
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman, she's an attractive comedian. I'm trying to think. Tiffany Haddish, though, no.
I can't have Cedric the Entertainer and you have Sarah Silverman with her titties out.
Look Sarah
at that.
Sarah Silverman's a smash, big smash. I think Dave
I'd
Chappelle
smash
hit that.
Sarah Silverman.
That's funny. That's funny. I think Dave Chappelle hit that. That's crazy, right?
Okay. Isn't Dave Chappelle like married forever?
I think Dave Chappelle's Jamaican, so he's like a serial cheater.
Okay, I know he's not a Jamaican.
I think Dave Chappelle is Jamaican.
That's a lie.
Mm.
Stop.
Anyway, Kings of Comedy. What do you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10, I'll give it a solid 8.
A solid 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it like a 9, man. I give it a 9.
I mean, probably for you, it also has that nostalgia as well.
Yeah.
I would say, since this was my first time like watching it and seeing it, and also like I didn't grow up with those guys as well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen their shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I would say also about Kings of Comedy, I feel like comedy has like, progressed past then. Like the game is way different now. Like you can't just do like white people do this, black people do that jokes. And that's what a lot of Kings of Comedy is, because like all those jokes have been done. That was all the 90s. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like nowadays it's like more complex. Like you have to incorporate different stuff into your comedy now, like impressions. You got to have like a political take. You got
trans jokes.
There's trans jokes. There's cancel culture jokes. There's woke jokes. There's all sorts of stuff now that you have to like incorporate it. Back then it was just like,
Yeah, for some time, like after COVID or during COVID, a lot of comedians did like COVID jokes.
COVID jokes. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I mean, comedy right now, I feel like a lot of comedians now are really pushing the boundaries of like what's acceptable to talk about. And like comedy back then was just talking about, man, Big Mama used to whoop us, didn't she?
Yeah.
We used to go to church and cuss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like now comedy has become more specific. Like, I don't know. Now, like in the sets and stuff, people talk about mainstream events. Like we said, like COVID, like Will Smith slapping like Chris Rock. People like put them in their sets. Basically, or I don't know, just like regular stuff that goes on the newspaper and things like that. So I feel like it's more about talking about like what's happening and what's new, and not really like general stuff.
Yeah. There was a little bit of that in Kings of Comedy because they were mentioning like Ray Carruth, and I had to remember who that was. It was
and
like
Titanic.
And Titanic as well. So yeah, they were making fun of Titanic. Like, white people love that movie. I've never seen Titanic. Should I watch Titanic? Should we do a movie review for Titanic?
I mean, I watched it like one time. I watched it, and I was like in 4th grade or something.
Really?
So.
Okay, I've never seen Titanic. I don't even know.
I don't really remember it that much.
Really?
Yeah.
I just know at the end, like the boy dies because he drowns, and there's no space on the raft, but there was plenty of space actually.
It's like okay, I don't even remember the size of the raft, so I'm not gonna argue. But I don't know. We can watch it again.
We can watch Titanic a good 3 hours.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Who directed it? Is this a Michael Bay film?
I don't know. But I feel like Leo is like so young that you can't really like lust over him.
Really?
It feels a bit pedophilic.
I see. Okay. Was he actually a good actor back then, or did he get better?
I mean, like I said, I don't remember it that much, but I feel like he was okay. Like
he was okay. With
my, tiny little kid brain, I thought he was good.
Okay. I just now realized on the camera, you look so cute.
Aw, James Cameron. I don't know if
James Cameron. Okay. James Cameron did Terminator. He also did Armageddon, Independence Day. Like big budget action movies. He was like that guy. Who's that guy?
Draw me like one of your French girls.
Okay, is that a line from the movie?
Yeah, it's Kate Winslet with her titties out.
Oh wow, okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Or maybe she's wearing a bra. I'm not sure.
All right. So then after we watched The Kings of Comedy, which was dope, it was fun. Laugh out loud, crying, laughing, a lot of classic jokes and memes and moments. We decided to. I watched my first Katt Williams special tonight. Actually, maybe I've seen one in the past, the one when he was in the green suit, but I don't remember it. We watched Afterlife Priceless, and that was just knockout funny. I really enjoyed that. Like, he was hitting them with haymakers. He was sweating like crazy up there. He was sweating like me. Like, I didn't know other people sweat like that.
I know. Yeah, no, he came out with like permed straight hair, and then at the end it looked like he intentionally like went for the wet look. You know, where you put the gel and stuff. But yeah, I mean, he was like running up and down stage making jokes. It was pretty good.
He looked like Tiana Taylor in that Kanye West video. It was like crazy. But the comedy special was absolutely phenomenal for him. I would say, honestly, Afterlife Priceless was better than Kings of Comedy.
Yeah.
It might be different because a comedy special is different when you're solo than when you have 4 other people doing sets with you. But it was just really, really good. And it was kind of smart, actually. And maybe Katt's comedy is not for everybody because I feel like a lot of his jokes, how can I say this? How can I say, like, I don't know. Katt Williams has like this, like, I feel like he's like a conspiracy theorist, and like maybe his jokes are centered from this place of like, don't trust the world. Like, he says a line in this film where I'm not saying don't trust anybody. I'm just saying not everybody can be trusted or something like that. And I was like, I feel like, he has this view of the world where it's just him on the outside against everybody on the inside. And I also feel like a little bit of that bled into like the interview he did with Shannon Sharpe too. And I kind of get that feeling from his comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Tell me what you think.
No, I mean, I guess like I could see that watching like the little bit of the interview and then also the stand-up show. I do get that. And I also think like, I think he's an open-minded guy, like about everything that's going on in the world and stuff like that. But I also think like his like very strong relationship with religion. He does have like that sort of, I don't know, like you said, I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
I don't know if like conspiracy theorist is the right term to use, but like, let's say skeptical, sort of like a bit conservative, like mindset.
Yeah.
And like, again, like I think he's open-minded, but then like in his core, I feel like he's maybe that type of person.
Yeah.
And maybe also like, I'm just gonna say like the reason why he got so hot in his interview is because of that. Because he's like that old like soul type of guy, and he is old right now.
Yeah,
but
things like 50 plus.
Yeah, like, and those type of like, I feel like those type of men like just usually don't cause a lot of like, commotion, but then they also like when they do say something, they just let it all out.
Yeah.
They're like always speak the truth and stuff like that.
Yeah, just like that sort of tell it how it is sort of mentality. Say what you feel. Say what's exactly on your mind. Why do you think people like gravitate to that and respect that so much? Like, why do people feel that? When people just say what's exactly on their mind, even if it's offensive, because like that's sort of like what got Trump in office. You know what I mean? Like people were like, I disagree with a lot of what he says, but I just like that he says it exactly how he feels and lays it on him flat. You know what I mean? Like, why do you think people like that?
Because it's honest. Like, there's no fakeness behind it. Like, if the man doesn't like you, he's gonna say he doesn't like you, and he's gonna say why he doesn't like you. And it's just honest. Like, you don't have to search for different meanings, different motivations behind that person. You don't have to think, oh, he's doing it for the clout, he's doing it for the money, he's doing to, get the fans to love him or something like that. You don't think that. You're just saying like, okay, so I guess that's how he feels, or that's what happened.
Yeah, I guess so. And I'm glad that people gravitate to that. I mean, that's what I try to do on my channel. I try to keep it real. It's called Simon Hill Keeps the Trail. So.
Yeah. I mean, like, in what sort of like Hollywood content that we get, anything we get from the celebrities, we never know if it's real or not.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Nothing like behind the scenes interviews, none of that. Like, it could all be like scripted or thought beforehand and things like that, or they could be true as well, but we will just never know that.
That used to bother me a lot. Like, I don't know if you saw these, like back in the day before the internet and stuff like that, like celebrities would go on every talk show, every radio show to promote their movie. And then they would ask him, "Hey Denzel, what did you think about making a movie with Matt Damon?" "Oh, Matt's great. Matt's great."
Yeah.
"Hey, Kate Winslet, what did you think about making Titanic with Leo?" "Oh, Leo's great. Leo's great." It's always like the same sort of stuff, and we never get that, raw, honest feeling like.
Yeah, because it's a sector, it's publicity.
Yeah.
Like, those people have specific people to
Mhm.
like orchestrate what they should supposed to say and look
Mhm.
like and act like and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
And it's part of like their whole persona.
Yeah.
But I feel like Katt doesn't have a publicist.
No,
Like,
no,
and maybe he does,
no,
but I don't know.
no. I definitely was feeling his special though, because I feel like he could have killed at the Kings of Comedy. Like if you replaced Ced with Katt in the Kings of
It
Comedy
would
set,
be like definitely a solid like 9.5.
yeah, like Katt would have killed it. And I definitely think he's funnier than Steve Harvey and Ced. I don't want to say D.L. Hughley, because D.L. Hughley is pretty funny to me. I just don't think he's topping Bernie Mac, right? But Katt Williams has like a unique type of style. Like I really like the joke he did when he was talking about the atheist, and the atheists were sending him death threats and that sort of stuff. Even though I'm sympathetic towards atheists, because I used to be an atheist myself. But I think it was very smart how he did it. It's kind of funny too. And he asked the atheist to explain how we all got here, and he said the atoms came together and banged on each other. But then he said, "Go bang on your car until it turns into a better car." I mean, that was pretty. It's kind of lowbrow, but it's funny though. It's funny.
Yeah, I think also like some of the jokes and things that he does, you can tell he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Like, and you can tell like he does or he did comedy movies, because you can see in his expression like it could be from. It's like similar to a movie expression, like movies kind of like we all love from like Eddie Murphy and those type of movies.
Yeah.
And those characters have certain type of like facial like expressions or like movements that they do and stuff like that. And Katt does that or incorporates that in his like set.
Yeah. I think he definitely has like that sort of Jim Carrey-ish sort of thing. Like that ability to make those certain faces, using the body to tell jokes and stuff like that. And that's really kind of what makes him special, because like those fat guys on Kings of Comedy gonna do that. Like Ced can't be laying on the stool, pretending to swim across the English Channel. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Ced did some moves too, like he was dancing and stuff like that, but it didn't have the same effect.
Yeah,
because even though I think Ced has also been in a movie, right?
He's been in Barbershop and stuff like that.
I guess that was like after the Kings of Comedy probably, but like you can see the difference when it comes to that, like when it comes to telling about like an event or impersonating another person. It shows.
I think Katt Williams is like a rapper, and like the Kings of Comedy, those guys, they're like Earth, Wind, and Fire, like traditional comedians and stuff like that. Yeah, they'll do a little hip movement and stuff like that. But Katt is like running across the stage, sliding on the ground, sweating his perm out.
He ripped his pants.
Yeah, he ripped his pants doing a joke. And I thought that joke was funny. He did a joke talking about the first gay NFL player is going to tackle you with love. Like that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's just a different beast. And now I see his genius, and now I recognize his brilliance and why people like him so much, especially after watching that special, because I would say I'm a fan now. I think he probably has more dope comedy specials and stuff like that. And I always respect people that like work really hard at their craft. So when I see you like sweating on stage, giving it your all, like not holding back, going for the gusto every single joke, every single time.
Yeah.
So I respect that a lot.
Yeah, definitely. You can see like you can see that like he really crafted all of his jokes and picked them like particularly like oh, this is a great joke. I'm gonna tell this, like something like that. You can see that there's like craft that and a lot of probably long hours that went into like preparing this show.
Yeah.
You can definitely feel it.
Definitely. Yeah, he's a master at his craft. And now let's what would you rate that special?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. I give it a 9 too. I give it a 9. Pretty good special. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. And yeah, now let's jump into that interview that he did. Because like something he said in the interview is like other people are writing jokes for other comedians, and other comedians are like stealing jokes. Like I don't know, what does a comedian having a writer make them like less funny? Does that make them less talented if somebody's writing your jokes, or if you have help writing your jokes?
I don't think it makes them less funny, because if they can still execute the joke like it's their own,
Mm-hmm.
then like it's fine. But now that I know
Mm-hmm.
and I can't take that back, it kind of takes, like, it's gonna be in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna think like, oh, like maybe this didn't happen to him, or maybe he didn't write this joke or something like that. So for me, I guess it kind of takes away from their originality and their talent a little bit. I would probably like still watch them and, you know, see their jokes and stuff like that. But yeah, it will be different.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you?
No, I don't think you can have other people write your jokes. That's not cool. It's not cool in my opinion. It's like a rapper having their bars written by somebody else. Like your comedy should be from your heart, from your soul, from your pain. Like, you know, because it's that art form where you're up there, standing up there by yourself, expressing your story. It's not like you're in a band. It's not like you're a pop star. You know, this is stand-up comedy. It's only you standing up.
I understand, because that's like the only definition of your job is to
tell
write jokes and tell jokes.
Right.
So if like half of your job is done by somebody else, then why don't just that person gets out and tells the jokes?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just because they're not like famous.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I agree with that. But then again, like, you know, some rappers have ghostwriters and stuff like that. You still listen to those people?
Yeah, I still do. I still listen to Drake.
Yeah, so it's like, for me, it's like it's not the end of the world, but obviously I'm gonna put someone who writes their own jokes above the people who doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
And Kevin Hart was the one that he called out, and then he also accused Sed of like stealing jokes. He said Sed, it's okay. He said Sed stole a joke from him and stuff like that. And he was talking about Ricky Smiley was supposed to play in one of his most famous roles, which was Money Mike, a pimp, in Friday After Next and stuff like that. And yeah, he was just on a warpath with that. And I think a lot of that has to do. I think a lot of that has to do with like maybe he considers himself like, you know, a comedian who stayed true to the art form and didn't sell out, didn't you know, just go get a talk show, didn't do Family Feud, isn't doing a barbecue show. Like he's still doing comedy specials, still touring, still outside. And a lot of other comedians like give up, you know? Like there are very few of the comedians from like 20 years ago who are still outside doing it. Now everybody's just podcasting it up and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And maybe that frustration comes from that part of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that?
I mean, I do definitely think he came to rent on the show. I get that maybe he thinks, I don't know, the guy who does the podcast,
Shannon Sharp.
Do you know, like, is this podcast like generally good?
Yeah, no, Shannon Sharp has been doing media for a while. He's pretty good.
He seemed like a cool guy, like yeah. But I don't know, like, if he came specifically for the guy, but I definitely felt like he wanted to vent, because like before everything started, he came and he just like, you know, bombed everybody.
Yeah, he was just going off
without like starting, like, then they dived into his childhood and his like earlier work and stuff like that. So first he just you know, dissed everybody basically.
Yeah.
So I don't, but at the same time, I can like understand his frustration, because he's mostly talking about like Black comedians, right? And that's like sort of a community, all Black comedians and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with like having a group of comedians that are like you and doing projects with them and stuff like that, building them up. That's totally fine. And that it should happen, you know? There should be some sort of support within like Black comedians. But at the same time, like when you're not involved in a group like that, and then you're constantly portrayed like the black sheep, I can understand his frustration, because he's like you said, I'm working hard. I'm like staying true to comedy. So like, why don't my peers who look like me, who go through the same struggles as me, like, you know, collaborate with me, or not like, I'm not talking in a sense like, oh, they don't give me roles or anything like that, but just they don't like, you know.
It's probably because like those other comedians are like in a clique, you know what I mean? And they don't want Katt in the clique just because of competition. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like somebody who's excellent over there. We don't want them in our circle because he might outshine all of us. It might be that. I'm just saying that. And I also think maybe it's because like Katt has sort of been erratic in a way. Katt, you know, for many years was like getting into trouble with the law and stuff like that. There have been rumors about him doing like hard drugs, like cocaine and stuff like that for many years, even though, you know, in the interview, all he says he induces in or puts in his body is a lot of marijuana. I tend to believe that Katt has dealt. Katt has done some hard drugs. That's
hard drugs.
I think he did some, you know, powder. I felt like he was lying in the entire Shannon Sharpe interview about I never did a hard drug in my life. I feel like he's done copious amounts of white powder.
I don't know about that. He just seemed too religious.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, the religious people sometimes be the freakiest ones. You know what I mean? They be the wildest ones. You never know. I feel like there were some lies definitely told by Katt in his little interview with Shannon. And maybe that's another reason why other people don't want to work with him, because maybe Katt Williams has like a big ego, so they don't want him in the circle because Katt says, well, I sell out city tours all the time and all sorts of stuff. And nobody wants to be around somebody like that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess. Like, but the thing is, like, you don't have to have him in your clique, but don't put him down, or don't try to, like, you know, bash him or anything. Like, you don't even have to, like, you know, praise him. You just don't say anything about him. Like, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it.
Yeah.
Basically, because at the end of the day, he is part of the black comedians like community.
Yeah, no, he's one of the biggest right now.
Yeah.
I would say Katt is bigger than like Chris Rock. I would say Katt is bigger than, I would say right now, like the biggest are Kevin, Dave, Katt. I would say they're the biggest right now.
I don't know, like, because I'm not from America and I haven't heard of Katt.
You really haven't. See, Katt is like very insular. Katt is like still kind of underground. Yeah. They even introduced him on that special, which I know.
Underground comedian.
Yeah, he's one of the best underground comedians. I know the special came out like 8 years ago, but still, it's still the same. If white folks don't know you, you underground. White folks. So, you know, I feel like.
I mean, globally, at least, like you know, I haven't really heard of him.
If the global whites don't know you, you're underground.
Yeah.
The global whites, you know what I mean?
But
I feel like y'all didn't even know Chris Rock until he got slapped.
No, I knew Chris Rock from like all the movies he did.
Okay.
From before, but
Everybody Hates Chris. Did you ever watch that?
No.
You heard of that show?
No.
Oh, it was like a comedy show about his life growing up. It's pretty good.
Anyway, so, I haven't seen that, but yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's why he came in so hot, because he was like, okay, so like you all did me dirty like all these years. I haven't said anything about you. And then you say, and then like I didn't even do anything to you. And then you come out here like telling me like, oh, I didn't deserve the role, or whatever, like he was accusing him of, the other guy, Ricky.
Right.
And so now, like, I'm going to expose all of you.
Right.
Because I kept it shut, like, all these years. So, like, why are you coming for me?
Right. I mean, he might, be doing this to sell tickets, to get people to come to his shows, stuff like that. Maybe he wanted to just make a big splash in 2024 because he's going on a tour or something like that. And it definitely...
You think he needs that sort of like endorsement?
I mean, promotion is always needed, right? I'm in a live stream with one person in the chat. So yeah, promotion is definitely always needed. You always need to promote yourself, no matter how big you are. I mean, thousands of followers, 2,000 followers. It's got 0 people in the chat. So anything can happen. I mean, you always need to promote yourself, right? So maybe he's doing it for that. Or maybe he just wants to like set the record straight and clear the air and like stand on business. You know, everybody said in 2024, I'm going to stand on business. I ain't taking no shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe he's doing that for this year. But I don't know, man. I feel like, you know, it's not worth it at a certain level. Like if you are really what you say you are, if you really are as big and great as you are, what's the point of calling out people who are like beneath you? You know what I mean? Like, do you ever think it's important for somebody to just like call out the people who are taking shots at the moon? Like, you know, like they say, the moon doesn't bark back at the dog. Stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I messed up the phrase, but you get the idea. I'm lit.
No, I understand. The thing is, like, I'm all for that because already I'm like a quiet person and I don't like to like, you know, clap back at people.
Mhm.
I don't like to like, oh, but you're this, but you're that, because most of the times I feel like, okay, that person's not gonna understand me, so I'll just like let it slide or something like that. But I feel like you can take that for so long. Like, you know, you can't just, especially also like when you're like a famous person or someone in the public eye and you're constantly getting like bashed and stuff like that. I feel like at one point you would want to make the record straight. Like, because you're either going to go to the grave with like all of the accusations that has ever been done to you. And I get that the other way, like staying silent and not even mentioning it, is the high road.
Right.
But like, sometimes you just have to like blow up, I feel like.
Sometimes you got to blow up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I did on my live stream when people posted my Albania videos in the Kali, and I just had to go off on them because I felt like nobody's just going to talk this reckless about me, call me out my name, disrespect my wife, you know, disrespect my travels and stuff like that, and me not say anything. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, like, you know, people won't know that you delete hateful, racist Albanian comments every single day to this day.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know, like 5, 6 comments like every day or something.
Yeah,
and you have to read them and you have to delete them or respond or whatever that you do.
Yeah.
But they would only know like you bashing like what was it? The Kali, like Kali about it, because that's what they see. They don't you know, see you deleting those comments. So maybe it's like that, you know. Yeah.
I think you know, on one hand, like in the social media world, like everybody wants to like, you know, defend their name and their reputation, because in this ecosystem we live in, all you sort of have is your name. And for me, it's like I put my real name out there. And I think Katt Williams is like his real name, or either way, he's a famous person. So you want to defend your name and your legacy, especially if your business is you telling jokes. And if other people are saying like, I could have had Katt's role, I could have done what Katt Williams did, I could have, you know, did exactly what he did. He's not as successful as he really thinks he is. He's still doing comedy. We're on TV now. You might want to say, hold on now. You know, don't disrespect what I do for a living. Don't disrespect my name, because if you disrespect somebody's name in like this entertainment social media field, that can like ruin their entire business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just reminds me a little bit of like when Kevin Hart was called out for stealing jokes, and like he stood up for himself and defended it and stuff like that. Because if you are accused of that, you know, people might not want to come to your shows. Like, okay, let's go to the comedian who's writing the jokes and stuff like that. So maybe that's what Katt is thinking too. It's like, I got to defend myself against people who are damaging the business, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but also like you have to think, when you're in like Katt's position, you're like bashing all these like famous comedians and like even like Luda and Kevin Hart, like one of the most like hyped comedians and people in the industry.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you have to expect that they're not really gonna take it seriously, or they're gonna have like their publicist. The publicist is gonna come to Kevin Hart and he's just gonna say, just make jokes about it.
Exactly.
Like, you know, it's not, you can't really expect them to take you seriously, because they're like, you know, I'm making millions. I'm still making my movies. People are still gonna like watch me and love me. So I'm just gonna like, you know, just goof around with
Yeah.
what you did.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like take your stuff and not really take you seriously.
Exactly. Having beef with a comedian is very dangerous because they can, you don't want no jokes. So Kevin Hart responded to Katt Williams' accusations. He was on like ESPN or something like that, and he was doing a show where he was playing video games with his homies, and he was making fun of the fact that, Katt Williams kind of told a lie and said he read 3,000 books every year.
Yeah, that was insane.
That's insane. That's 2 books a day.
I mean, first of all, like his whole like life is insane. Like he moved out of his house at 13.
But also he went to college at 7 or something like that. He said he was accepted to college
at 7,
or was it 7 or 17? He said he was like a very young student who got accepted to like Delaware College or something like that.
Yes, I just don't know. Like the whole thing kind of sounded like a novel, like a fiction novel.
Yeah,
maybe like probably like they're true or something. Like I don't know how much of it was like exaggeration and stuff like that.
As a psychologist or a trained, soon to be trained psychologist, did you see like any narcissistic tendencies in him or any psycho disorders in his speech?
I mean. I'm definitely not qualified enough to make this, but I'll just say this, like, I think, like, I do believe that he's a smart guy and he has, like, high IQ. And the problem is that, like, most of the times when I feel like when those type of, like, children grew up in strict houses and environments and stuff like that, but they do have, like, opportunity to improve themselves. And also they get praised when they do really good, and then they get not praised for anything else, like any creative ideas that they can, make with their smart mind. I feel like that could create like some sort of, like, oh, I read so much and I do this so good, and that's all that people are gonna praise me for, and I can do this very easily.
Right.
So like, I feel like him being like very smart and very intelligent caused him a little bit to be like a narcissist.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I can do stuff that people struggle with easily.
Yeah.
So like, I'm the best.
I definitely think he's a bit neurodivergent because of, most people who are that successful and that creative are a bit strange in the head, right? Especially in the arts. But let's jump into the comments here. Donnie Williams says, "What up, big bro?" Shout out to Donnie Williams for coming in. I'm not your big bro, man. I'm just a homie. Living Wisdom says, "I think some careers will be destroyed after that interview. LOL. Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey will be fine, but someone like Faison Love will have his career hurt." So I don't think that, by the way, Faison Love is another comedian, but he's very, very underground. Like, I don't even think, Faison Love was in a movie called Friday with Ice Cube. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
But he plays the ice cream man who's also a drug dealer in that movie. And basically that's been his biggest role since then. And he's just been coasting off of that since then. And Faison Love likes to take a lot of shots at Katt Williams. But Katt Williams is like, Faison, you're nobody. It's literally like, this is literally like Jay-Z replying to me. Like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, Faison Love is like literally a nobody already. So I don't think Katt Williams destroyed his career, because all Faison does is like go on little nightclub tours, does a few open mics, and does Vlad TV interviews. You know what I mean? Like, I have a bigger career than Faison. Wow. I have a bigger YouTube career than Faison. I'm gonna have beef with a comedian now. Living Wisdom says, how can you not be a narcissist? How can you not be a narcissist if everyone around you is telling you how amazing you are 24/7 and no one telling you no? I think all celebrities are narcissists. That's a very good point. I would disagree that all celebrities are narcissists. Yeah. I think, there are some celebrities who like stay away from the spotlight, right? Like one of my favorite rappers is Scarface, and he doesn't do interviews. He's not all in the public eye, even though everybody loves him. Andre 3000, I think, is not a narcissist, because Andre 3000 like will easily walk away from rap, where he's like the biggest selling rapper of all time, or one of them, and just go play the flute for 20 years and come back and just say, "Hey guys." I don't think everybody's a narcissist, but what do you think?
No, I agree. I don't think every celebrity is a narcissist. Like some celebrities really do give you like that humble, just like a regular guy or a girl type of vibe. And I do believe like it's genuine because you can't really give that if it's not genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Cat Williams is one of them. Like he definitely
No,
has
I think Cat
some,
Williams is a narcissist.
yeah,
I think
narcissist tendencies. But I also think like I understand his frustration, but I do think like the whole bashing part was petty a little bit because like or not petty, but he just did not resolve any of those issues within himself. You know how people like this is gonna sound really like trashy white, but like forgive yourself before you forgive others and stuff like that. Like he never did that. And that's why he's like came to the show. It's 2024 and he's talking about stuff that happened in like 1998 and stuff like that, like whenever those movies were taken and things like that. So it's definitely like I feel like he
right.
I feel like every time like he gets mad he thinks about these things and get like all like angry in his like living room
a little bit. I feel like Cat Williams is like the black sheep in the comedy world because like he's super successful, but maybe he doesn't feel like he gets his props or love from other comedians. And maybe also his personality, which tends to also have a big ego, puts him at odds with others. Like he has like that maybe Kanye West ego, but instead of the ego where he says, I'm going to bring everybody together to praise me, he has that ego that says everybody's against me and I'm against them.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, Living Wisdom. I think most celebrities are narcissists, but not all. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
So Donnie Williams says, Living Wisdom, interesting thought. Donnie Williams then says, is narcissist really a bad thing? What do you think?
I mean, it becomes, yeah, I feel like. I mean, confidence is not bad, but there's a bit difference between confidence and narcissism. And when you're a narcissist, you are skeptical about other people, and you also like don't care about other people as much. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with caring about yourself the most, but if you're like intentionally, you know, not if you're intentionally hurting people for your own good, I feel like that's when you're like a narcissist, or you're intentionally putting people down with your words and things like that.
Right.
You become a narcissist, like because otherwise that's called confidence.
Yeah.
If you just like believe in yourself and you praise yourself.
Definitely. I think, you know, there's levels and degrees of narcissism, but I would say you need some narcissism to be able to just live in the world and be successful at whatever you do. Like you need to have that belief that you are the best, at least at certain moments in time.
Yeah.
You know, like whenever I turn on a stream, I believe in my whole heart that I'm the greatest streamer that ever did it. Even if 0 people are in the chat, I know that I'm great. And I know that I've done some like great stuff in music. Like when I was rapping, I know that I've made like a few songs that are like top down, like hands down great rap songs. I know when I've written some stuff, I've been like, this is some great writing. You know what I mean? Like you have to have some narcissistic tendencies to believe that you're actually dope to push forward. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But like you said, I think they have to be tendencies and not your whole personality.
Yeah.
Basically. Because if you feel like that, you don't feel like that 100% of the times.
Right.
There are times when you're like, you know, oh, I should check myself. I should correct myself and things like that. And you should have those, because when you're like 100% narcissist, then also you're not going to have self-judgment as well. And if you can't judge yourself, how are you going to like, you know, see that you're wrong at certain things? Because nobody can be right at everything.
Yeah, no, you have to have some self-reflection inside, but you also need that narcissistic confidence at certain moments. Like when you're on the stage, when you're at your job, when you're doing your thing, you gotta believe in that. I would say.
But I feel like, like that's why Katt sounds like a narcissist, because he has no self-judgment in the interview.
Yeah.
He never talks about like what he like. I made a mistake. Like I acted like a dick when I met this guy or something like that. You know what I mean? And
even when he Shannon Sharp asked Katt, "Have you ever been booed on stage?" And then he flipped it on Shannon and said, "Have you ever dropped a pass?" Which is a good point, because that means we all make mistakes. But admitting that you sucked at your comedy at one point is a good time to show some humility. And like it was hard for him to show humility. He had to flip it on him and say, "Well, did you ever fuck up too?" You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what like psychology is, because he might sound like he's accepting it, but he doesn't really say. He never says, "I got booed."
Yeah.
He says like all comedians got booed. Like
More,
he's like
more,
making
yeah.
it general, and he's
Yeah.
reflecting it on the other guy, and he's not owning up to his own like failure.
Yeah. So then, is narcissist really a bad thing? Said Donnie. Then Donnie said, "LOL, Andre and the Flute." It's a good sleeping album. It's a good walk in the park album if you really are into that. LOL, people like Andre 3000 and Lauryn Hill are afraid of failure. That's why they have not released an album in 20 years. That's a very good point. What do you think about that? Because like Katt Williams in his interview said like, oh, Said has like 5 specials and they all suck. That's why you can't find them. And other comedians haven't even done a special. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you think maybe like some people are afraid of failure, so that's why they like hide their old material or don't release new material?
I don't think just because like you're super talented, you have to put like music all the time out. Because honestly, if Eminem didn't release his like last 3 albums, we would be just fine with what he had. But or 2 or 3, I'm not sure.
Quite a lot. If he stopped,
we didn't need them. Like it's fine. We could have just like have you as like the legendary white rapper. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. But so I don't think you don't need to just like release just because you're good at one thing. And it's possible that maybe like you lost your touch or something. So yeah. And that's fine. And if you really feel like that, I do think like you should stop and maybe focus on something else. And you should only like give more if you really believe that your work is reflecting like your best at that time. Yeah. I think it's okay to experiment. Like if Andre wanted to do like another rap album, I think like if he felt like it was reflecting him in this moment, like in 2024 or his experiences and stuff, I think he should put it out.
But he said that he's too old to rap. He said, you know, I'm 45 years old. What am I going to rap about? A colonoscopy? Like, what am I going to rap about? Like my back pain? Is there a point? Is there ever you're too old to do some art form?
I don't think so. Like, I think because the thing is, like, Andre's songs were never really like about, you know,
Andre's songs
like
were about
they were like stories and stuff like that. So like he could still create a story as an old person.
He probably has more stories now.
Yeah, like he could make up a story. He can imagine he was young if he's craving that. Like I don't know, like he can make stories and things like that, because it wasn't like all he was talking about was like guns and bitches and stuff like that. No, you know. No. So, you know, he was like a different sort of creative rapper, right? And I don't think he would lose that. Yeah. But you know, maybe.
But the thing is, like, you know, when you become hella successful, like Andre 3000, like Steve Harvey, like Said the Entertainer, you know, you get other opportunities and other ventures, right? Like, you know, Steve Harvey got his talk show, Family Feud, writing books, Think Like a Man, that gets made into a movie. Like, so after a certain point, you have so much money, it's like, damn, why am I standing on stage dancing to Earth, Wind, and Fire, trying to make people laugh at these old ass jokes? Yeah. So maybe Andre did the same thing. Like, he got a whole bunch of endorsement money and a whole bunch of other opportunities, and he's like, damn, why am I on stage talking about, hey, yeah, I ain't got to do this no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. Like, if I was really like, you know, let's say if I had made money like Steve Harvey or something like that, I definitely would not still be out here. I would be probably like, if I was really getting my creative butterflies, I would like do something every couple of years, but definitely I would not be like just, you know, working, putting different stuff all the time. I would just focus on one thing that makes me like happy and, you know, fills me up with joy and things like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know what I mean? Like, some people love the craft of whatever they do, and we sort of like appreciate that they love it, you know? Like, we appreciate that Dave Chappelle, despite getting $50 million or whatever, still does comedy specials, and he still has something new to say. And we respect, you know, Katt Williams still going out on tour and that sort of stuff.
Of
You know
course,
what I mean?
that's very like respectable, obviously, and
Right.
I think that's why people were really mad with Andre, because Andre felt like a dude that he was like in love with his craft.
Yeah, because of how he wrote, what he wrote,
Yeah. So
how he
people
did
were
it.
like, okay,
Yeah.
like, so was it just about like the money and
Right.
stuff like that? I guess.
And when you see somebody, stop doing the craft because they got other opportunities, it feels like selling out, and it feels like a betrayal, because like we're the fans who like champion the artist, champion these people to go and do amazing things. And then once they do something amazing, it's like, okay, I'm done. You know what I mean? And that's not, that's not cool. That's not cool, I would say. I mean, it's their choice. It's always their choice. Like nobody should be a slave to their fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If Taylor Swift doesn't release another album ever again, we can't force her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know you don't care.
I definitely don't care, but I'm pretty sure some Swifties would slit their wrists, that Taylor dropped out.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, like, we don't know what happens behind the scenes, right? It could be like, maybe he wasn't good psychologically. Maybe like he was depressed or something, and he was just like, man, I just have to quit. Like, I cannot, like, be in this business or something. And maybe that was the reason, You don't know that. And I think that is like a really important thing. And they just have to put themselves for it. So
yeah, absolutely.
like you, I wouldn't blame them.
Yeah. So Living Wisdom says, yeah, that Flute album, people wanted a rap album. Absolutely. There's a reason why he don't get his credit. Yeah, I think the reason he doesn't get his credit is because he really doesn't want it. But I'm not sure who you're talking about here. If you're talking about Andre 3000 or Katt Williams or me. Thanks, well put, LOL. And then he said, I like that song. I guess he likes Hey Ya. I thought Hey Ya was okay, but I really like that Love Below album. The Love Below album is actually really dope. But with the Katt Williams thing, like, I didn't want to click on it at first because it was like I saw like Black people like tearing each other down, having conflict, and just the bickering back and forth and stuff like that. And I just don't like seeing that sometimes, because I feel like our people get so easily distracted about, oh, what did he say about her, or what did she say about him? And it's like we have this bickering and fighting in front of like the whole world to see. And it's like we're fighting in front of white people for their entertainment, and we're just tearing down other Black people. And that's why I didn't want to click it at first. I'm glad I did watch the Katt interview because I did learn some things, and I do have a new respect for his craft. And it made me want to check out his work because it actually is dope. But yeah, I don't know. Am I wrong for thinking that way? Like, that like this is not cool just to always look at this sort of stuff. Like these so many distractions in front of our face and this sort of bickering and back and forth. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I do understand like the frustration. I think it's real because like we talked about it on the couch. We were sitting here and we were like, okay, what like two white actors or two white comedians or whatever, like we know that are like dissing and like fighting.
Yeah, and the most we could do was
Taylor Swift and Katy Perry. And the first thing that came into my mind was Miley Cyrus and Nicki Minaj, which is like half.
Yeah, or Taylor Swift versus Kanye. Why does Taylor Swift got so much beef? Taylor Swift be beefing with Kanye.
She's the only white person that has beef.
Like Taylor Swift out here like Tupac. Taylor Swift like, what's good? Like,
yeah, and then like when you look at like the Black community, you have like different types of like just all people going at each other.
Yeah.
I don't know, female rappers, like male rappers, actors, like comedians. What actors maybe not so much.
Yeah.
But comedians right now, like with Katt and like Kevin and stuff like that. So I understand why you would think like, okay, this is unnecessary. Like, even if you have beef, like sort it out, like not on the camera. But at the same time, like I told you, I think this might have been coming from like a cultural, like hip hop culture perspective.
Yeah.
Because like battling and like dissing and taking out your like energy and challenging each other that way is like part of the rap culture, right?
Absolutely.
And it comes from like a, way back. And that's like, I think that's part of like the culture. And I don't know, like, has it become petty?
I think a lot of it has has become petty, because if we're talking about millionaires bickering among millionaires for our entertainment, Donnie Williams said Katt, then Donnie Williams said haven't seen it, everyone and their mom did a review. Donnie Williams said white folk on code. Then Donnie Williams said black folk not. So we were talking about this before. I wanted to ask you, like, black people like to say, oh, we don't see white folks acting like this, or we don't see the Asians acting like this, or other communities acting like this. But I wanted to ask you, like, in Turkish media or in Turkish culture, is there like this sort of entertainment industry of people just talking about each other, gossiping about each other? Oh, he really did this, or he really said this, and stuff like that. Is that a part of that society too?
Yeah, I mean, like, Turkish society does love to gossip, and that doesn't exclude celebrities. Like, we literally drink coffee and gossip like every day.
Wow.
But like every Sunday, like, there's this show that's specifically for gossip, and they like show secret photographs of celebrities. Oh, this is holding hands with this, or this broke up with this girl said this about another woman, and stuff like that. It's usually about mostly about relationship scandals, and about like what Turkish singers wear on stage, basically, like, and bashing of those like leotard wearing Turkish singers and stuff.
So in your
that.
culture, like, there is like this industry where people like gossip about each other. That does exist.
Yeah, it's like a Turkish TMZ.
Turkish
think of
TMZ,
it like that, and it's like a whole show.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, that we do that like within each other though. It's like, imagine like a gossip channel only for like only black people could see.
Yeah,
in
no,
America.
media takeout.
Yeah.
Gossip. I mean, we have gossip sites,
Yeah, so like it doesn't harm. Obviously, it's harmful. Like, gossip is bad, but like, it doesn't. We don't have to worry about another person watching over us, or we don't have to be concerned because we're not like living with another group. It's all Turkish people, so we just like bash on each other.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: like, as a white appearing person, or as a white person, or a Middle Eastern person, however you want to identify, as a non-black person, how about that? Okay. When you see those, when you see stories like this with Katt Williams attacking Steve Harvey and stuff like that, and Kevin Hart dissing Katt Williams, do you think this might create like a bad impression of black people in the minds of non-black people?
It depends on what white people you're talking about. Because when I see that stuff, I'm like, I don't generalize that to like the whole black folks or whole black community. I don't think like, oh, Katt Williams is a bit narcissistic, so like I guess the whole black people are narcissistic or anything like that. Or I don't think like, oh, everyone fights in this community. And yeah, I just see like two celebrities going at each other.
Okay, you just see two celebrities. You don't see like this as indicative of black people.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the big problem with like some people looking at these stories like, why are y'all fighting in front of the world like this when y'all should be unified, and you're making a bad impression of us, or y'all have so many other powers that you could use to uplift each other and take it to the next level.
Yeah, no, I think we talked about this. I don't know if you remember, like, we were talking about like how there's like this pressure in every black people that they represent for the whole culture. And I feel like no other group really thinks like that. Maybe like Asians do. I don't know. Turkish people don't. I don't go out and I think like I have to represent for Turkey.
Even while we're abroad, even while we're in Europe.
Yeah, I like to talk about my country. I usually talk about the food, and that's it. Like, I don't know. I say like, oh, Turkish people love to gossip, like here, even though it's like something bad, or I don't know. I can criticize like my own people and things like that, or like I would disassociate myself from like other Turkish people that I see outside. But you don't do that. No. When you see a black person here in Budapest. You like, yeah. So you give the head nod. And if like, let's say if we went to a restaurant and like a black person was being a Karen, what would you do?
A black person was being Wait, this is a random question that came out of nowhere. I don't even know how to like fathom that. So are you saying like we're sitting at like we're sitting at like some restaurant and some black person, I'm gonna give him an African accent. He's like, this food is not cold. I wanted my food cold and you gave it to me hot.
Yeah,
What is this? I want to see the manager. Yeah. Bring the manager now.
And she's saying like, I won't pay you if you don't like.
I will not pay your food. And then he like knocks the hachapuri off the table.
Yeah. Like we know, like obviously we saw the whole situation start up.
Yeah.
And then unfold, and we know like he's being a Karen.
That
or
would
she's
be
being
hilarious.
A Karen.
A black
what
Karen.
Would you do? Like, or how would you feel? Do you feel like he or she is representing like you?
Damn, a part of me, because how I grew up, it's like, man, I don't know, man. This is just the American thing in me, but it's like, I was taught like when we're in mixed company that we should be presenting ourselves and acting in a certain way to make it easier for the next person that will come after us, and also just to be safe. Because as a black person, when you said a black Karen acting up in a restaurant, my automatic thinking is they're gonna kill that nigga. He might die. Like he might. Wow. This will be the last manager he's ever seen. Wow. Like, so my thing is like, you know, that paranoia, that fear, but then also that expectation to be great as a black person also sort of limits our freedom and choices of interacting with certain people in certain ways.
See, that's what I'm saying though, because like no other group in the world has been told, oh, like when we're in mixed company, act this way or act that way. Because I guess like maybe you would feel like that Karen represents you as well, because you can't hide your identity. It's in your skin, right? If people look at the restaurants, there's only like 3 black people. 2 of them are there, and one of them is you.
Right.
But as a Turkish person, nobody knows I'm a Turkish person. And if I see another Turkish person, I'll be like, I don't know, I'm not from Turkey.
Right.
Like,
the thing is, like, if we were in that situation and that guy or girl was acting up that way, and most likely they will be African. So they would have a totally different perspective. You know what I mean? Like the psychology is totally different. They might be thinking, I have the right to act this way. And of course you have the right to be upset at like a restaurant if you didn't get the right order or they messed up your food or whatever, right? Yeah. But they might be thinking that this is not indicative of them as black people if the white folks are acting a certain way towards them. Does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying? Like they're not thinking about the race. They're not thinking about how this will reflect on
okay, let's say
us.
They're black Americans. Why
if they're black,
them? I said like
because most likely, like if we're out here in Europe, like most of the black people we're meeting are Africans.
American. It's another black American.
Oh, if a black American was acting that way, I was like, nigga, are you crazy? Like that nigga, that's a nigga. Like, because we know white people in America.
So you would like, I mean? You would intervene or something?
No, I'm not getting in nobody else's business. No. I
so
might say,
I might say feel bad because, like, you know, because of that guy's behavior.
Would I feel bad? Yeah, I would feel bad. Like, bro, what are you doing? But I would also like, how can I say this? I would watch it play out, and of course, you know, hopefully it doesn't end uncivilly. Like, hopefully it ends peacefully and something like that. I don't know. This is just a crazy situation because there's so many dynamics.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the original topic, which is like, you know, should black people fight in front of like the whole world?
Should black people fight in front of the whole world? No, I think we should not. No, the quick answer is no.
I just think I don't. You know how you guys always say like black people are not on code. I think you are on code.
We are on code.
I think so, because even in that case, when you wouldn't intervene, if anybody around the restaurant did anything to that guy physical or called him the N-word or something, you're definitely going to show up for him.
I'm standing up. But if he's complaining about a fly in his soup, I'm not going to say nothing.
You're not going to say or do anything unless stuff gets out of hand, obviously, or they disrespect him from like a racial point. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like you guys are on point, but you guys also like really like critique each other.
Right. I mean, That's very deep because there
I
is a
don't
lot
know
of
if
no,
like
yeah.
non-black people critique you as much as you critique yourselves.
No, definitely non-black people critique us more than we critique ourselves because, we might, say, "Oh, how dare you, Simon, be married to a white woman?" We might type that, but nobody's gonna kill me because the only person that will kill me because I'm married to you
Yeah, but
looks like
those
you.
are different things.
But that's the
One,
same thing, though. That's a heavy critique. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, but you're talking about like a racist person just being racist.
That's a type of critique. A racist is a critic
Yeah,
of.
but a racist person is gonna be racist whether you fight in front of him or not.
That's very true.
So like, why does it matter if like you have beef with another black person? The racist person is still gonna be racist.
Right.
He's gonna want to like do something bad to you, relentless of like what you say about another black person. He's gonna hate all of you.
Right. But I feel like when we have these fights in front of the world, it makes us look very bad in a way. And on top of that, it's a waste of time because these people have the ability to talk to each other behind closed doors. Like Katt Williams could have easily gotten Ricky Smiley or Steve Harvey or Seb the Entertainer's phone number and like hollered at them on the line and talk to him. He didn't have to go on Shannon Sharp's podcast, but I'm glad he did because he helped make Shannon Sharp a lot of money. Another black man out here making media and stuff like that. So that's a good thing, right? To help black business in that way. You know what I mean? And it's not like Katt Williams is beefing with the whole world because he said he's cool with Dave Chappelle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just think when black people fight in front of the whole world, we sort of make ourselves pick sides and divide amongst each other. You know what I mean? And the last thing we need is more sectarianism. Yeah, we don't need more. There's already black people that will kill other black people over being Muslim or Christian, blood or Crip. We're fighting in other people's armies as pawns. So I think we shouldn't be just having these conflicts. We should be unified. We should be unified. You get what I'm saying?
I know. I'm just saying, like, I understand this want and need and this passion to be unified. Obviously, like, that's the best possible, like, scenario. And that's what it should happen. But also conflict is normal in a group as well. No one group is ever always unified. And I feel like, yeah, you can have certain standards where you say, like, we shouldn't be fighting in front of, like, white people or the whole world. We can fight, but we should do it like separately, secretly, whatever. You can say that, but so it happens and it's out in the media. I don't think the focus should be on, we shouldn't be fighting in front of like, white people. The focus should be on like how to make amend or something like that. Or
I
maybe,
think that
I feel like there's sometimes so much pressure on like being on code that it's a heavy load.
Right. I think the thing is, like, we don't argue in front of the world more than other groups, right? Because like you said, Turkish people like have their beefs and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure it's all over YouTube. And Vietnamese people probably have their own beefs with their celebrities or even amongst different communities of Vietnamese and different things, right? But the thing is, they do it in their own language, and that keeps it in a certain group. And the problem with us is that our stuff is English, and English is a big language. English is the global language, so anybody can tune into it. Some people might just tune into it just because they want to practice their English. So they're listening to, Katt Williams and Steve Harvey and all these people bickering back and forth because they're practicing their English. So I think that's the thing. Like, we can't hide our stuff. There was like a scene in the Black Panther movie. And in the scene, the Black Panther and like one of the soldiers was like talking in front of a white man, but they were using their own language. And it was a very powerful scene because they were talking shit about the white man right there, and he couldn't do anything about it because he didn't know. And that's something that we as Black Americans don't have because they took our languages from us specifically for that. You know what I mean? And I think like our fault is that we don't have another way to communicate that would keep it insular because we speak just like the white man. We speak the white man's language, and it's a global language now that anybody can tune into and jump in the conversation. Does that make sense?
Of course, of course. Like at this point, I feel like from what you're saying, it's sort of like a survival technique almost because, white power is sneaky, so you do have to keep certain things within your community to be able to like just resolve those issues without the implementation of the outside.
Right.
Because you don't know if what the outside is giving to you is like helpful.
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. Yeah, like I'm sure, like in South Africa, right? Like the guy Live in Wisdom said last time, they speak like 100 different languages there. So within each of those communities, they're probably having the same stupid debates: team dark skin versus team light skin, 4C versus 2C, and all other sorts of stupid debates. Ass or titties. Like they're doing all of those debates within their group, and nobody knows. Everybody thinks, oh, those people, they're so respectful. They have no idea what they've actually been talking about. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, but either way, the Katt Williams thing is not going to lead to it's not going to be Biggie Tupac, right? Nobody's going to lose their life about it. That's a good thing.
Okay.
What
do you think overall about like the interview?
Overall, I thought it was good to hear Katt talk about his craft, like how seriously he takes comedy, and whether he was lying or not. It's still good to hear people that are really dedicated to doing something at a very high level and succeeding at it, And it shows that the American dream is real.
I mean, you can hear that he worked very hard. That's like maybe also one of the reasons why he is sort of narcissistic, because when you work so hard and you get what you want in the end, you're like, I earned it.
Yeah.
Nobody can take that away from me because I did everything.
Definitely. So I respect him for that. I think, I think a lot of people nowadays are like really just more tuned into the drama than they are the actual art. Because I'm pretty sure out of the 17 million viewers that watched it, not all of them, I wouldn't even say the majority of them have seen, Katt Williams specials or like his movies and that sort of stuff. I would say it's probably like half have actually tuned in to Katt before. And yeah, I think it's also interesting to see that, this 3-hour interview got such a big response. And it's such a black ass video too, like some black ass platform with 2 black men talking about a bunch of other black men. And I'm pretty sure all the white folks watching are like, who the hell is Faison Love? You know what I'm saying? And that's the crazy part about it. So I'm wondering who watches it. Because anytime I see something get really, really massive or big, my first thought is that, oh yeah, a lot of white folks are watching this. You know what I mean? But maybe it's wrong, because there's like 40 million Black Americans, right? So, but I just find it hard to believe that half of us watched that. You get what I'm saying? Like there's 40 million of us, and this thing got 17 million views. So I don't know.
I watched it, and how random that is.
But I asked you to watch it though.
Yeah, but I was still gonna check it out because I saw it everywhere on like my social media, and I was like, "Who the hell is Katt?" I thought it was a sheep.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just hope that Katt Williams' attention doesn't cause Kanye West to come out this year, just try to get more attention, because nobody can be bigger on social media than him, right? Like in his mind, that's a true narcissist who needs the.
Why do I feel like he's gonna do something weird, like very close to the elections?
I think so. Maybe, I don't know. More ranting. I don't think he's endorsing Trump anymore. Kanye is not in Team Trump. He's
Why?
not. Basically, like, Trump didn't free a person from jail, a guy named Larry Hoover, who's from Chicago as well, like Kanye West. He was a gang leader, but he didn't let him out. Luca Brasi says, don't let the Katt Williams drama distract you from the fact that they still need to release the Epstein list. So I was this close to reading the Epstein list on my live stream, but I don't think people here like educational content. So I was like, you know what, let me not read it. Because I had the whole document. My wife found the PDF. I was going to come on stream and read it.
It's long though, Simon. It's like 900 pages.
I could read that. I could do that. I've done worse. I could read all day, honestly. I've been holding back low key. But, my channel is only here for like the fuck shit. My followers are only here whenever I talk about celebrities or gossip and stuff like that. People don't like You should wait until they drop it. Luca Brasi says it's already out. Luca Brasi.
They have some names that they like, deleted it. So
Yeah.
people are asking like, release the full list.
But let me say this: I actually think it's okay for people to be really into Epstein drama because how can I say this? It's like a cool conspiracy theory. Like when people say the 2020 election was stolen, or 9/11 was done by the Israelis, or JFK was shot by like 3 people or something like that, or we didn't land on the moon. Those are dumb conspiracy theories. But the Epstein one is actually pretty interesting. And my Epstein theory is that he was a Mossad agent. I believe he was set up by the Zionist government of Israel. This is why I'm wearing this, because it's made of tinfoil. He was sent by the Mossad agents to go and get dirt on everybody across the world. So like if anybody spoke up against, Zionist Israel, they could easily like pull up pictures of like Joe Biden with like a 9-year-old wrapped around his waist. You know what I mean? That's my Epstein theory.
If your theory is true, then you might get shot within like 4 weeks or something.
I might.
Why'd you say that?
I might. No, but nobody cares. Keep doing your thing, bro. I support your channel 100%. Thank you, Luca Brasi. I appreciate that. I believe that too. Okay, interesting. I would love to hear everybody's Epstein theories. What's your Epstein theory?
I don't really have like any, honestly, because I'm not really into American politics.
I mean, it's just an interesting story. You saw the documentary, though.
I did. I don't know. I just thought like he was. But you guys don't know why he's rich, right?
We don't know why he's rich. Apparently, he was a financier. So he did Wall Street trading and then somehow ended up a billionaire. He was also like a math genius and stuff like that, too. But, nobody really knew exactly where his money came from.
I mean, that makes kind of sense. Like he could be some sort of like spy or like a plant or something like that from another government.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know like specifically which one, so I might just like agree with you on the
why are you scared?
Like Israel. No, I just don't have any ideas. I just thought like he was he was just like some rich, weird, like perverted guy.
Yeah.
To be honest, and I thought he was coming from like old money, and then he just did like some finance stuff.
Yeah, I definitely think him hanging out with all. Wait, that Emma's still alive. That's funny. Maybe that's true too. Maybe he is still alive because the way he died was very strange. Do you know how he died?
I know it was like some people said it was suicide. Like people believe it's suicide generally.
The official story is suicide.
Yeah, but then like I don't know where's the shady part.
Okay, the shady part is that he was held in the Brooklyn jail, Brooklyn, New York, not Brooklyn, Kansas. Like he was in one of the most populated cities, over camera surveillance, jails ever, right? He's left in a cell alone, right? Nobody else is in a cell. And he's being watched 24/7 because he's on suicide watch. He tried to kill himself like sometime before, right?
Okay.
The thing is, the guards who are supposed to be watching him, the hour he kills himself, fall asleep. Both of them fall asleep, right? And on top of that, they also bought some new furniture. The guards got money for new furniture for their apartments, like some like weeks after Epstein got killed, right? Like the money.
You're saying like they were paid or something?
I don't know, but they did definitely buy new furniture, both of them, right?
Okay.
And then on top of that,
dumb.
Epstein like hung himself in his cell at the right time when the guards were asleep. So it's like a double coincidence. How did
the body was there, right?
The body was there. And also the bones they say that he broke when he hung himself are the same type of bones that you would get broken in your neck if you were strangled. So they say. So they found him.
So it makes sense.
So they found him, well, are you saying it makes sense for like as if you choked me?
Someone killed me, it would be the same type of
The coroner said a bone like this would only be broken if you were strangled, not if you hung yourself. So they say about Epstein.
So wait, you guys believe he's still alive, but he's not like killed?
I believe that he is not alive. I believe he was definitely killed.
Yeah, that
Uh, be-
makes more sense.
because everything sort of lines up that way.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes me believe that maybe he might not be a Mossad agent. Oh, go ahead.
No, you say this because I was going to say something about that. Say it.
Ghislaine Maxwell, his girlfriend. I was going to talk about that.
Okay, I was just going to say that, like, maybe if he was like a Mossad spy, they were like, we have to take him out because now he's in prison and he might like say something, or we don't need him anymore because he can't do anything anymore. So they just took him out.
Right. Maybe. Yeah, no, that's what I was alluding to.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, but what makes me think he might not be a Mossad spy is that his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, was caught too. So you saw the documentary.
I did, but like in high school.
Okay. It wasn't that long ago. It was like 2020. It was like 2020. Was it? Yeah.
That's still 4 years ago. I don't remember what I ate yesterday.
Okay. Anyway, so his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, was his his partner in crime. And she helped lure girls in and eventually
I remember that.
She got caught after Epstein got arrested, but the girl was hiding. She was like up in the woods in cabins people never heard of. They caught her, they questioned her, and then she ends up getting a super life sentence, right? And nothing has come out from her. She's still there? Yeah, she's still in jail. And you would think, if she knew more information at this point, she would just be like, well, I'll let it be known. Like, I'll say it. You know what I mean?
Maybe she didn't even know.
Do you think they could be, like, a spy could be that entrenched? They could be with somebody and they not know? I
mean, if you're a rich person, yeah. Like, he's rich and he, like, married this woman and, he's already doing some shady stuff with the island and everything, the whole like sex trafficking and all of that. And so like, what if he was doing something even more like secret?
Okay.
I feel like maybe he doesn't have to.
This might be a stupid question, but if you were a spy for Turkey, would you tell me?
No.
Okay. Why?
Because I would put your life in danger.
Wow. Okay. All right. Luca Brazzi said, these people are so powerful, they can make a courtroom and a prison a stage. I mean, if we're going to play with Epstein conspiracy theories, maybe. Who knows? If we're going to do that, if we're going to open the door, then Ghislaine Maxwell isn't in jail. Trump is still president. Obama was secretly a reptilian. We could open the door to just like all the conspiracy theories.
Whose conspiracy theory is that?
A lot of people. Like some people really believe Trump is still president and there's a body double for Biden.
What about the reptilian thing about Obama?
I mean, there are people that believe in reptilians. You've never seen the meme of this guy named David Icke? He has like spiky hair and his meme is this. He's just like aliens.
No.
And like the reason for anything
I get shocked at Americans every time.
You never seen the David Icke meme?
No.
Type in David Icke.
Thanks for
telling me. And that's just like the excuse. But I definitely believe in like, alien. Oh no, not that guy. Type in ancient aliens meme. Ancient aliens meme. But I mean, if we open the door for conspiracies, anything is possible. I would like to know other people's Epstein conspiracies.
This guy?
Yeah, you've never seen that meme?
No.
I don't know, therefore aliens. This is a classic. It's a classic.
It's dumb.
But I would like to know some other people's Epstein theories. Y'all let me know in the chat what you think.
I mean, I don't know.
No, I'm talking to the chat. If anybody has anything in the chat. Yeah. Chat slow. Chat slow.
Yeah. I mean, it's just all crazy. Epstein is crazy. And it's incredible that whole thing happened and nobody like knew it. Or people knew it and they just like kept it hidden.
Yeah.
Obviously, like there's a whole list, so people knew it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it's only 5 people knew it. It's like
a lot of people knew it.
Like 200 people knew it or something, even more.
But like, what do you think should happen to the people that were like associates with him? And if they went and visited his island and stuff like that, is it possible that you could be friends with this guy and not partake in those sort of nasty deeds?
Yeah, like maybe they just like they didn't know like what he was doing. Like maybe like they knew that he had island and stuff, but they didn't know what went in the island because they never went there. So I think they should be investigated at first. And like, you have friends, I have friends. We don't know everything they do, right? So it's like it's the same with celebrities. Like you don't know everything they do unless like you're really close. So I think like people who went to the island would definitely know what was going on.
Yeah, and besides, like, you know the guy. Like Epstein had been to jail before for sleeping with underage people. Like he was a what's it called? Sex offender.
Yeah, so definitely, if you've been to the island, I feel like they should be charged, like sued.
Definitely. Luca Brasi said Chris Tucker is on the list. Does that surprise you?
Who's Chris Tucker? I'm learning this new celebrity.
Come on, he was in like Rush Hour.
Oh,
do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Like Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Classic.
I know this guy, yeah.
That's very strange, man. How's Chris Tucker hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein? See, I think the people that hung out with Jeffrey Epstein literally had nothing else to do. Because like Michael Jackson, Chris Tucker, all these people, like they had already made their millions. So they were like bored with life. So they're like hanging out with this guy who's like can show them a wild side.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, because I told you this. I heard like some names are on the list, but they're just like mentioned by the girl. Like Epstein told the girl, yeah, I know like Leo or Kate Blanchett or something like that. And then they just got added because they were in the interview and they never actually
So some of the people didn't actually go on the island, right?
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? Out of all the people, the only person that will go to jail for knowing Epstein is Chris Tucker. That's how it's going to play out in America. The only
don't say that.
It's like Bill Clinton went to the island, Trump went to the island, but you know who's got to go to jail? Chris Tucker. That's America.
I don't know, like if he was just mentioned or he actually went there, but that's crazy. Yeah, rich people do get bored and they do crazy shit.
Yeah. Anybody who was working didn't hang out with Epstein. Like anybody who had a job had no time to go to that nasty island.
Yeah, we know Katt Williams wasn't there.
Katt Williams wasn't there. No, but you know who might be said the entertainer. Said the entertainer on Epstein Island.
He was tasting the barbecue.
He was tasting the barbecue.
The chicken and everything.
Yeah. Oh man. AC stands for all children.
Wow.
AC barbecue. All children.
Don't say stuff like that.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Donnie Williams says she lost her black pass, but she don't know Chris Tucker. LOL.
Sorry. I'm not American. I'm not American.
It's not American. Let her slide, man. Let her slide. Chris Tucker did like 3 movies back in like 1998. Like
I definitely seen him like in a movie, I feel like. But I just couldn't remember.
But he was in the Michael Jackson video. You rock my world, know you can. That's why he was best friends with Mike. But anyway. What else?
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking on the island is crazy. But I think I heard that Stephen Hawking didn't actually go. Like what I heard is that Stephen Hawking was upset that people accused him of going to the island. So Epstein like filed a lawsuit to defend his friend Stephen Hawking. And that's why Stephen Hawking's name is in there. That's what I heard from another YouTuber who said that. But either way, the Stephen Hawking memes were hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. We can just assume that he went there and make fun of it.
Yeah, the Stephen Hawking memes of him on the island are absolutely hilarious. So, but either way, what else? Donnie Williams said, it's a joke. I know it's a joke, man. We can joke. It's okay. It's all right. What else, man? Stephen Hawking memes are hilarious, though. Like, we were looking at ones where, you know, he as soon as he made it to the island, a man in a wheelchair gets up and just starts walking like this.
And then, like, on his way to the island, it's just, like, the super fast wheelchair guy driving in the highway.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Would you hang out with Steve Hawking?
Not after that.
No? If you could, all right, you have to hang out with FMK. Smart people. It's gonna be very bad. FMK Smart People Edition. Einstein. Oppenheimer. and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I need to check Oppenheimer's actual.
Like the real Oppenheimer.
Yeah. If it's the movie, then you know who I'm gonna pick.
Oh man. That's the real Oppenheimer.
The camera.
Okay, I think we all know how Oppenheimer looks.
Okay, so it's only me. Okay.
He looks like your guy, Cicely Tyson. What's his name?
Cicely Tyson.
What's his name? Cecil Rhodes.
No, you made me forget. I forgot.
Andrew Gillum. What's his name? Cillian Murphy.
Cillian
Everybody.
Murphy,
Yes.
So who was the first person?
Einstein, Oppenheimer, Neil deGrasse Tyson. FMK.
Okay, it's so hard.
Because
Why Neil deGrasse Tyson?
that's the only smart person I could think of. I can only think of like.
What did he do?
He's like an astrophysicist. Like I don't know. I think he has like a planet named after him.
Did he do anything bad?
I mean, I think he was accused of SA.
Essay? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna marry Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That's so random.
I'm gonna marry him because even though Oppenheimer is the cutest, I cannot marry him. I cannot marry someone who
created a bomb. Okay.
Cannot,
that's good. All right.
I cannot hold that entire the whole.
Wait, you would divorce me if I invented like a bigger nuclear bomb?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's too much. Come on. What if I'm doing it for science? We're not going to use it. It's just for science.
Then just keep it to yourself.
Okay.
I know Albert is crazy.
Albert Einstein. Yeah. Albert Einstein eat the groceries. Albert Einstein suck toes.
Everything.
He'll suck toes.
He lick everything.
You know he never wore socks.
That's kind of gross.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna F Oppenheimer. Okay. He's still the cutest, and then kill Einstein.
Kill Einstein.
Like I know he's freaky, but then I feel like he also smells really bad. He smells like an old person.
He smells like old person.
He smells like your wow. Just your grandmother's grocery bag or something.
Wow. Yeah. He probably goes weeks without wiping.
Yeah, his hair and stuff.
Yeah. No. Definitely not. Okay, that was funny.
I can't believe I answered that. That was gross.
I just thought of it right now. We're just chilling on stream, man. Talking real spicy. What did we learn from this Katt Williams situation? Is there anything to learn from it? Is there anything?
Oh, I guess we were talking about cancel culture and stuff. Do you think Katt is gonna get canceled because of this interview?
No, I feel like people will love him even more because people like the real. They like it when, people keep it real like that and tell what they honestly feel and expose celebrities too. Because a lot of the public has this view that all these celebrities are fake. They sold their soul. He had that quote in there, the number one job of everybody who sold their soul is to act like they didn't, which I feel like is going to become an annoying quote people will use now forever.
Wow.
People are going to say, yeah, of course he's not going to show you he sold his soul because he has to pretend like he did it. And then people are gonna act so smart, like they said that, yeah, I said that. You know what I mean?
Okay. What we learned from it. I think what I've learned is that
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, this is I was gonna say I won't speak up until I will not bash other people for my sake. Unless I know it's going to do something.
Unless you know it's going to go viral or make you more popular or something like that? No,
it's going to affect, if that person really treated me, really bad, and I talk about it, and, he's going to, pay his dues for doing that to me, then I'll speak about it. But I'm a believer of karma also, so I probably won't say anything.
Donnie Williams says he been canceled. He is a survivor of cancel culture. That's very true. I mean, Katt Williams has been around for a good 20 plus years, and he kind of almost canceled himself through all of the legal problems he had and getting beat up by seventh graders and all the times he went to jail and all the rumors and slander people put on him. I do feel like Cat Williams maybe shot himself in the foot though, because he didn't take advantage of all those opportunities that were in front of him. Like I feel like he could have been a bigger movie star and stuff like that. But he said, you know, when he went to Hollywood, his number one thing was to get famous and not give up his booty hole. And so I guess, you know, maybe he's not as famous because he really didn't give up his booty hole. Who knows?
I mean, he was talking about like all that stuff. Like he was saying, oh, like all the script, all the movies that Kevin Hart did, they came to me first and they wanted me to star in it, but I didn't want to, so they sent him to me.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And he's never been in a dress. And that's the thing. Like it's hard to, I can't name any black celebrity who has not, any black male celebrity who has not put on a dress. And that's the thing. And I want to.
It's just a random thing.
Well, this is a big.
Why is that a thing?
Well, this is the thing for us because, like, a lot of times black men feel like our masculinity has to be toned down, and white people only accept us when we are demasculated in a way. And this goes back to like you know, slavery times. Like, what did they do with slaves? Like, they literally cut their penises off, right, and stuff like that. And now, like, it's more palatable for black men to exist in media as either asexual or effeminized, right?
Do you think it's still the case today, like 2024, or like let's say after 2020 at least?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that's still
Luca
the case?
Brazzi says it should teach people not to have these people as idols, LOL. And how celebrity worship culture needs to be thrown in the trash. Facts, Luca Brazzi. I agree with that to some degree.
Yeah.
I don't think we should worship celebrities at all. You know, don't even follow me. And I definitely know nobody's following me. I got 3 people in here. I love these jokes. We got to keep doing it. But the longer we do it, the more people pile in.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Sorry. But either way, what was I going to say? I think a lot of times black people see our black celebrities about black people in dresses. Yeah, they see black people in dresses, like Eddie Murphy or damn near everybody, Martin Lawrence.
I said, like, do you think that's still the case?
That's still the case. I think to some degree, yes. You don't have to necessarily put on a dress, but you do have to tone down your masculinity in certain ways, right? To be really acceptable. Like when we look at like Will Smith's career, you know, Will Smith sort of toned down his masculinity in a way that made him super acceptable to mainstream society. That's why like a lot of people in the black community were accusing Will for being gay. Like anytime a black man is hella successful, they accuse them of being gay. That's because the way black men present themselves in mainstream media is so effeminized or demasculated that it appears like a gay man. That's why they called LL Cool J gay, Will Smith gay.
But then you also have artists like I'm not saying it's not true. Obviously, I understand where you're coming from. Like I can also see it a little bit in Kevin Hart as well. Like even though he's married and stuff, we don't see him as like this tough, you know, guy or like this very overly masculine guy. It's more like, you know, he's like this short, funny guy. So he's like non-threatening, basically, just like. So I can see that, but then you also like, I guess at least today you have like I don't know, Denzel.
Right, and that's the interesting thing. Like we have some black male sex figures, right? But like Denzel, to my knowledge, if I remember right, never kissed a white woman on screen. He's never been the romantic interest.
Well, you have his son who kissed an Asian woman.
Yes, his son is out here acting an ass. He's kissing white women, Asian women, all sorts of movies. His son is out here acting a donkey.
I think like it's changing a little bit, like with sorry, I forgot his name. Black Panther. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, him, Daniel Kaluuya. I feel like those are not like you know, people who try to turn down their masculinity. At least just to like, you know, I feel like there is a progress, but tell me if I'm wrong.
I haven't seen all of their movies, but like the instant thing I think of, like, okay, what type of roles have they played? Have they played a gay man? Have they, because, you know, it's not my opinion, but it's the opinion of many people that black uh, black masculinity cannot be tied to gayness. Because if you are gay, you lack masculinity. This is not what I think at all, and I don't want anybody to say this about what I think. But a lot of the times people say, "Oh, you're a punk. You gave up your booty hole to be in some movie or some TV show, and therefore you are not a man or masculine." Or behind closed doors, you were secretly gay or bi the entire time, and you didn't tell us that. Therefore, you're not as masculine as you should be as a black man, because this is just traditional toxic masculinity tied in also with like black self-hate of seeing each other as less than, as something that we can you know bring down. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Am I following you?
Yeah.
Or you following me?
I'm trying to. A lot of wine, but
Yeah.
I was just I don't know. I was curious, like what you thought about like the industry, like black actors in the industry right now, and if you felt like there was any change for the better.
For the better, yeah. I mean, everything constantly, gets better over time, but there still is this desire to, I would say, in media to some extent, like, castrate a man's masculinity on screen. You know what I mean? Like, Brad Pitt never had to put on a dress, as far as I know. Johnny Depp
he
didn't have. He did when?
You don't remember? He has a whole photo shoot in a dress.
Okay, he had a whole photo shoot. Okay.
He's actually really sexy in a dress.
Oh wow.
But
okay.
that's the thing. Like, no, I can agree with you because we know many sex symbols who are white males, right? Like, just on top of the head, Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, Leo, George Clooney. Almost like every white actor. In a dress. I can't believe you never seen this.
No, I probably have. No, yeah, I probably did. Yeah, I've seen that before.
This photo shoot.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he wore this too. I didn't see this one.
Is this that's a kilt, I think.
I don't know. It's like a suit dress.
That's a kilt. But see, the thing, man, it's such a deep topic. But I feel like a black male sex symbol to cross over. Has that actually happened outside of Denzel? Maybe. Did he? I don't know. A black male sex symbol that actually crossed over. I can't think of any.
What do you mean crossed over?
Crossover is when you become popular to the whites.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I find plenty of black actors hot, but I don't know, like, let me think. Let me try to think of, like, names. I'm going to say Michael Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
He's definitely, like, a very
attractive man.
And he's also, like, been, like, the most sexiest man of 20-something, like, something, like, in a magazine or something. I'll say he's definitely there.
Our guy, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
No? Is he attractive? Because Katt Williams in the interview said Jonathan Majors was like an industry plant because that nigga's ugly. He said they tried to fool us and tell us that he's attractive. That Hollywood tried to force that man to be handsome.
Wow. I think, what was that show that you were obsessed with?
Oh, Snowfall, Damson Idris.
That guy is hot.
Okay.
Just like, these are the people who are hot to me. That guy, I don't know the names. That's my problem.
Okay, you don't know the names. Okay,
the guy who was in Issa's show.
Oh, I forgot his name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think he's hot, but I don't know. Like, they're not mainstream. Michael B. Jordan is, I would say, but I don't know about the other one. I mean, the other guy is Damien. What was the other guy's name in Sky? No, Snowfall.
Damson.
I don't know if Damson is like mainstream. Is he?
Yeah. They dated the same girl.
Michael B. Jordan
and Damson.
Who?
They both had Lori Harvey.
Had.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean had? What's wrong with saying had?
Dated, maybe you can
say
that.
they dated, but It's
not something you can have. It's a person.
They had her company. What do you mean?
That's why you're sexist.
I'm not sexist. You will not pin that on me. I am the furthest thing from sexist.
It's okay.
No. Did Mike Tyson? What does it say? Did you Mike Tyson perform in Pepper song? The salt perform.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah, Salt and Pepper song. I don't know what that means. Did you Mike Tyson perform the Salt and Pepper song? I can't see it. But yeah, man. Either way. I forgot how we got to that. Oh no, but
we're talking about like black actors
and
like black male actors.
Yeah, wearing dresses.
Yeah. Wearing
dresses. I don't know. In Turkish media, is it common for men to be wearing dresses and makeup and, you know, emasculating themselves a bit on camera?
I would say it's rare.
Mm-hmm.
Like we do have like, you know, those comedians who are kind of like not attractive at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, kind of like ugly ones and the overweight ones.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they wore dresses or something.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like I can't think of like any names or any scenes in a movie where I saw like a Turkish actor
wearing a dress.
But also like you have to remember this is a Muslim country and masculinity is like a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like all you get is toxic masculinity in Turkish media. It's like, you know, these guys throwing around girls like and so yeah, that is a factor.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
It's just different, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It's different for us because we feel like we can only get our break in Hollywood if we take on those roles and stuff like that, right?
I mean, I just like you can't. I feel like maybe you cannot compare it to Turkey because like in Turkey we don't have people who are homosexuals and are out in the closet. Mm-hmm. There's no famous person
who's like openly gay.
There's like 3 trans like superstars and they're just accepted. No questions asked. And then there are like usually either entertainers. One of them is an entertainer and the other 2 is like arabesque singers. So they're just accepted and they transitioned. And other than that, nobody comes out of the closet.
Oh, okay.
So it's very toxic.
So I know what Donnie Williams is talking about now. I think you showed me this. There was this celebrity karaoke thing, celebrity lip sync battle, whatever. Okay. And you showed me the video of Mike Tyson versus Terry Crews or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's like a lip sync battle.
And in there, Mike Tyson like performed and he did Push It. And then he laid down on the ground and like opened his legs and stuff like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So like that's what Donnie is talking about. He's like saying that's an example of like, you know, black men just busting it open for
yeah, but that show everybody goes crazy. Channing Tatum did Beyonce. The Tom Holland, the guy who played the Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, he did Rihanna. So everybody does weird.
Yeah, but where they like twerking and laying down on the ground.
Of course, if you're Beyonce, how are you not gonna twerk and like do sexy stuff?
So it was
Tom Holland twerked like, you know, did the dance on Zendaya.
So it was equally as effeminate.
Yeah, they were wearing the whole suit. They were dressed as women.
Okay.
They were wearing leotards and fake boobs.
Okay.
And a wig.
Okay.
So yeah.
But see, I don't know, man. I don't know exactly how to say this, but it feels different for us because it's like Channing Tatum can turn that down and say, you know, I don't want to do that, right? In a room full of white guys and say, you know, they'll be like, okay, we understand that, Channing. But like Mike Tyson, as you know, a black man might say, I don't want to do this, and be like, "Ooh, I'm sorry, Mike, but you're just not the right cultural fit for this show." I know this might be frustrating, but imagine how we feel.
I don't think Mike Tyson could be emasculated. He's Mike Tyson.
I think any man can be emasculated, right?
Yes, but I just cannot see that happening to him.
I mean, if Mike Tyson lays
Because
down,
he's like a fighter. He's a boxer, no?
yeah, he's a big boxer. You know, dangerous man, probably the most dangerous man with hands. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the show is a good example because it's just for goofiness and entertainment.
I think
a lot of like people, like also women acted like a man too on the show and stuff like that.
I think even if the show isn't a good example, because in entertainment, cross-dressing and gender and playing with gender fluidity is a part of entertainment, right? Mm-hmm. This is why like all the famous rock stars were very effeminate in their ways and had long hair and, you know, painted their nails and stuff like that. That's the rock star aesthetic. Mm-hmm. I would just say that it just feels different for us because it's like when we do get those few chances to be represented in media, we don't want our stars to just be out here looking like women.
Yeah, you know? No, I understand that.
Does that make sense? Because our identities are very few in those things. And like other countries, like in Turkey, like men are men on screen, right? And maybe it's the opposite thing. Maybe you do want to see your guy wear a dress.
Yeah.
I think the thing is like, at this point, you would be happy to see like a cross-dressing, like a Rocky Picture horror show type of Turkish version, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because ours is toxic. It's imprisonment and toxic.
Yeah.
But I don't know okay, so if that is like a problem that you guys see, what would you imagine an ideal representation of Black males? Because I would also say that like overly sexualization of Black men is also a problem. So what would be like the ideal situation, you know, ideal representation of Black men?
I'm gonna answer that, but I'm gonna also ask you the same thing for Turkish.
How am I supposed to?
For Turkish people.
Okay.
Or Middle Eastern people and stuff like that. Because I mean, you've seen, you know, American media, and sometimes they play Middle Eastern people, you know, with the, you know, crazy and stuff like that. But in my opinion, I'm not going to give you other people's opinion. Other people's opinion would be, we want every Black man on movies and TVs to be super straight, heterosexual, never wear a dress, and, you know, be anti-woke and all this sort of stuff. Because this is something that's prevalent with a lot of Black men now. Like they're tired of seeing, you know, other identities of other types of Black people. They want heteronormative Black male and stuff like that, right? My ideal would be to have Black men represented in all facets, because, like, you know, smart people, thugs, gangsters, criminals, presidents, CEOs, doctors, lawyers, fast food workers, like just represent us in straights, gays, trans, because we're all different, you know. But I think it should be equal to what it actually looks like in society. So like how Netflix has
give percentages.
Yeah, like there's like 0.1% of Black trans people. There's like maybe 10,000, 100,000, I don't know, out of 40 million of us.
Okay, so how much of the Black representation, let's say, should be, what percentage should be like straight, masculine, Black?
Like the vast majority.
Like 60% of the roles should be in like that sort of vibe?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hold on, wait. I just want to get to the comments. So Luca Brasi says, sometimes you have to be a lion to be the lamb you really are. I don't remember Dave saying that, but that's a very interesting quote. Sometimes you have to be a lion to be the lamb you really are. Sometimes you have to be ferocious and fierce to be peaceful like you really are. Is that what that quote means? I'm not exactly sure. Luca Brasi said, that's Mike Tyson. He isn't the violent, brutal guy everyone thinks he is. No, of course, Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I didn't say it because he was violent. I just said he's like a professional boxer.
Yeah, no, and I think she was trying to say like Mike Tyson's masculine bona fides are certified.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I think of Mike Tyson and I think like, okay, this guy's a fighter, like a fighter as in like professionally fighting, and someone who's like masculine. Yeah.
Donnie Williams says, hell no, he lost all his stripes. I don't know. I mean, he did get knocked out by like Buster Douglas. Like towards the end of his career, he was washed up. But Tyson in his prime, there's a reason we still talk about Tyson. He was like the youngest heavyweight champion boxer ever, still to this day, knocked out plenty of people had amazing physique, just a beast, just unremarkably good at what he did. He was a prodigy, a child prodigy of boxing, came up from nothing. There's a reason we still talk about Mike. So even if he lost all his stripes, Muhammad Ali lost all his stripes. Muhammad Ali was washed towards the end. Nobody wants to talk about the end of Ali's career when Ali was getting knocked out and George Foreman was washing that ass and shit like that. Nobody
That's
wants
normal though. You age and then you lose your strength.
Exactly.
Like,
and Tyson went through a lot. You know what I mean? When Customato died, who was his trainer, he sort of went downhill. And yeah, a nice representation would be to not always be casted as thugs or gang members. I absolutely agree with that. Luca Brasi said maybe a doctor. Absolutely. We should be doctors. We should be lawyers, but we should be multifaceted. We should be represented in all ways. Donnie Williams said embarrassing. I wonder what was embarrassing. I hope it wasn't anything I said, because if I said anything that was a misstep, I apologize.
I think he's talking about like maybe some event that we talked
about. I don't know. But yeah, I just wish that there wasn't an over representation. What it feels like is there's an over representation of like gay and trans Black life and expression, when like the vast majority of us are like, you know, heteronormative and cisgendered, and that's it. I don't know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's cool. No, I was just, how would I want the Middle Easterns represented in Hollywood?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, from what I've seen, it's usually they're like always oppressed by their families, like super religious. They can't date, they can't drink alcohol, and they can't do drugs, none of that stuff. Usually, at least, they're like arranged marriage, they forced marriage, and all this stuff. I mean, I feel like, yeah, like there are people who are like that, but then also like you've been to Turkey, and I feel like most people are not really like that. At least like not my circle, and you know, not like Istanbul and stuff like that. It's, I don't know, we're just like normal people who have like normal set of rules.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure like your mom and my mom probably had like the same restrictions about us. And without like, I'm not considering like the differences between the gender.
Yeah.
But like about drinking and smoking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I would want to like lift away from Hollywood. Like we're not all of us are like super religious, you know, just like with strict parents and stuff like that. Please stop the weird Middle Eastern like flute song thingy.
When they transfer, now we're going to Istanbul.
Yeah. It's so bad. Like we have, at least in Turkey, like we don't have a song like that. So.
I think they're trying to like make a song out of the Adhan. I don't know.
It's just like, I think it's like, maybe it's very, very, very like old Egyptian, like traditional music or something, but they apply it to like everyone.
Yeah, they just be making up stuff.
Yeah, so please stop that. And yeah, like for my country, obviously I would wish we would have like more representation of like queer men and women. That's one thing that I would like, that we would not have so much toxic masculinity.
Do you think, has there been any sort of shows at all with like queer people in them in Turkey?
There's like, okay, so this is the only one I know. There's this one actor who's a guy and he acts gay. Like he's doing the stereotypical like, oh girl, like this sort of things. And he always plays the best friend of the main girl character. So I think he's the only one that we would, like, nobody ever in the movie says he's gay. He never has any like male love interest or anything. We don't know anything about this character, but he just acts like gay.
Okay, so they send the illusion out there.
Yeah,
like
and he's the only character I know.
Yeah,
that acts like.
But
that.
They never say he's gay, but you know.
Yeah, you assume like he's gay because he's like he's the best friend of the girl, basically. So he cannot be a threat to the male, basically.
Right.
And yeah, he's the only one that I know. And like, I think he's maybe homosexual in real life too, because he did do a cooking show and he was acting the same way.
Right.
So yeah, but he never like officially came out. He never said I'm gay, I'm homosexual or whatever.
Yeah, but this might be a weird question. Sorry. Are you
Go
tired,
ahead.
by the way? No. Like, all can never lose stripes. Ollie can never lose stripes. I don't know what you mean by stripes. Are you talking about like metaphorical stripes? Like just like, no, he lost. Oh, do you mean Tyson lost all of his stripes as in like reputation because he like made his ass clap on national TV? Is that what you mean?
Are you talking about like the lip sync battle?
Yeah.
Made his
I think that's what he said. But this is
just Tyson being like funny and stupid.
But this is the thing, like Mike Tyson. You got to go look up Mike Tyson lip sync battle on YouTube, and then come back here, look at Bratzy if you want to see it. But yeah, black people take this, very sensitive. You know what I mean? Like we don't like seeing that. Some black men don't like seeing that, and it's like it's the opposite of like what you're going through. You're sick of seeing men as masculine and toxic on TV. And we're sick of seeing Lil Nas X as the representation of.
Yeah, like there's more representation of Mertz.
Of Mertz?
Yeah.
Okay, she's referring to like 90 Day Fiance. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. By the way, 90 Day Fiance is tomorrow. Looking forward to that.
I don't think it's gonna come out. I think they're on like a break or something.
No, it's like this should have been like a normal week. So tomorrow it should be out because we're back to normal. Everybody's back to work and stuff.
Okay. Anyway, we shouldn't be discussing this.
We shouldn't discuss.
Were you gonna ask me a question?
Well, it was just gonna be a stupid question, but like, how would you feel like if we had the opposite problem, like all the males in Turkish TV had to wear a dress to get really popular? How would that make you feel? Or would you just be like, yeah, we have this weird cultural thing where like our guys like dress up like Big Mama?
Wow. I don't know, honestly, because I don't care enough about Turkish men. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I just don't have any. I don't have any ties to Turkish men. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I don't know. Like it's different when. Okay, maybe it's not that different because it's. But it's different because if all Turkish men have to wear dresses just to be on TV, then it's just like it's all Turkish men. Like we don't have any other group that has to go against them and be masculine and stuff. So like you said, I guess it would be like just this cultural weird thing.
This weird cultural thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if we had the opposite thing where like all black male characters were like hyper masculine, like toxic masculine, you know what I mean?
How would you feel then?
I feel like that would be kind of really bad. Kind of really bad, honestly. Because people are upset that, there's so much representation of like alternative lifestyles with black male figures, right? And black male figures acting effeminized and emasculated and that sort of stuff. On one hand, I can see how that's problematic because as a man, you want to see your identity represented as well.
Yeah.
But another thing is that media also sends messages out there as well. So if we literally had media where men were being hella toxic to their wives and children and stuff like that, that could also like influence the culture too to be really bad.
Of course, the thing that you're saying is happening in the corn industry.
In the corn industry, you think so? You think people watch corn and do bad stuff to their partners?
What? No, but I'm just saying, like in the corn industry, like black people are presented as hyper masculine, and people with big bits.
Sure.
And things like that.
Right.
So like it's the opposite of Hollywood, right? It's hyper masculine and it has a different effect. Obviously children don't watch it and it's not mainstream,
right?
But everyone watched corn. So
well then you took it there. I was still on Hollywood, but then you went to
I'm just saying the thing that you were thinking about is actually real, but it's just another industry and it's underground.
That's kind of true. Damn, that's deep. That's deep. So you're saying in pornography, like hyper masculinity for black men is there,
Yeah.
right? And it causes a certain representation in another way. And it's sort of interesting how there are these dual uh, perceptions of people based on what media you watch or consume.
Yeah.
Or maybe we put too much emphasis on media. You know what I mean? Because you could simply unplug the TV,
Yeah,
unplug the
but
computer.
you have to, I guess, like if you compare it to white representation in both medias, it's always good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's never really a bad side to it. It's like, oh my God, like white guy with a huge bit. And then like, or it's just like a normal white guy with a normal bit. But then also you look at Hollywood and it's just like, you know, just white dudes being normal and straight or gay, or they have all types of like representation, right? And it's always okay and it's always usually good. But then when you look at like Black people and their roles and their parts and their representations, you have like something that's not ideal in both cases, and you want something in between.
Yeah. You just want to see.
It's like two extremes.
Right.
But why can't we have something in the middle? Because, like, you know.
Right. And
that's what white people have. They're
right.
like in the middle,
right.
basically.
And that's the thing. That we feel like we only get our shot when we only get our shot to be in the mix when you actually put on that dress or act, you know, or kiss a man in the movie or something like that. You know what I mean? Or kiss a man backstage or whatever. Like you get put on that casting couch. And it's crazy that, man, it's so hard to say because it's like people feel like you gave up your masculinity to be on stage just to be emasculated in front of all of us. And that's why they're going so hard about Mike Tyson. That's why Mike Tyson caused such a big commotion in the chat. Because it's like, oh man, Mike, you're like one of our champions. You know what I mean?
Like, why'd you accept this gig?
Yeah, like why'd you do it? Like, you know, is it really worth it for a check to twerk on stage and pop it open? You know?
Once again, I think you're judging as Black males. You are just in the chat like doing all this because when I saw it, I thought like, okay, like this is so fun because you have this like very tough looking guy that's like breaking down all the stereotypes and just like having fun with himself.
Right.
But, you know.
Yeah. But yeah,
everyone gets something different because your experience is different.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if you stay on the internet long enough or just consume media, you get these different talking points and messages that you never hear in the real world. Because I'm sure Mike Tyson didn't even think about that because he lives in the real world where it's, you know, my job today is to, you know, sing Salt and Pepper song and dance on stage, and then I get my $10,000 check and go home, right? And you know, he don't really care about what people are going to say online or all of the theories that, you know, everybody has to wear a dress or bust it open backstage to get put on if you're a Black male. Like, you know, people in the real world, I've never heard anybody come up to me or have a discussion with somebody and say, yeah, every Black man has to wear a dress or be emasculated or be gay to get put on. Yeah, when I think about it now, he was just enjoying himself. Mr. Hill, I agree with you on that point. Interesting. I don't know exactly what point I was talking about, but yeah, it's when we think about it, like in the real world, if you sit down and just talk about celebrities, I don't know, like nobody actually says like, yeah, man, Will Smith's gay. I know he's gay for sure. How do I know he's gay? Because he was in a billion big budget movies. No Black man can be that successful without being gay. I think a lot of that has to do with self-hate. It's just a lot of self-hate. We can't.
I mean,
go ahead.
I just want to say this, like, obviously, I think you already know that, but you know that self-hate was implemented from different forces that we call white supremacy. But yeah, it's not like I don't think like you should be like just blaming yourself for it and be like, oh, we're just hating on ourselves and stuff like that. But obviously there's a reason why that hate is there. But at the same time, it's good to realize it.
Yeah. I mean, that hate is there, man. I get hate from Black people all day because Black people hate to see other Black people being successful, living their lives, or just expressing themselves. Then you get hate from white people too. And like, you know, it all just piles on. Because the number one thing that is the problem with us, see, I was just complaining that Black people should not argue in front of the world. And here I am arguing.
But once again, all
Well,
people do that. I shit on Turkish people all the time.
That's true.
Don't worry.
That's true.
And like my friends were there like during Christmas, and like she was saying like the worst enemies of immigrants are immigrants. You know, like you have like immigrants from different parts of Middle East, and we all just hate on each other when we look exactly the same.
Exactly.
And have like almost same traditions.
Yeah. The people that
all groups do that.
The people that you share the most in common with are the ones that you end up like fighting with the most, or the ones who have the most hate and disdain for you, because when they see you being successful, they see your failures, right? And when they see you doing something outside of the box that they're in, they want to bring you back in the box to be more comfortable with themselves.
Yeah.
And that sort of constant thing that goes on with us also ends up being reflected also in media as well, with people that we'll never know, right?
Yeah.
And so when we see Will Smith make millions of dollars, have, you know, somewhat of a weird family, but he's kept his wife and had many kids and has a beautiful home and all this sort of stuff, we see our own failures in that. And so we have to blame that difference in our outcomes on something else. You know what I mean? So we have to say, well, Will is something that I'll never be. He's gay. He sucked a dick to get where he is. And I have morals and standards, and I will never suck a dick to make $20 million. Right? So
yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's just important to just like be aware of it, and also like not think too like strictly on it as well. You know, like, because I don't know, Mike Tyson also has the right to have fun on TV and get paid. Like,
yeah,
you know, if I'm gonna do karaoke with like a dress and then like get, I don't know, $10,000, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'll do it.
Well, of course you're gonna wear a dress.
Or if I have to act like a dude or something, I don't know, something I feel insecure about. If I have to put on a bikini and go out, but I'm going to get $10,000 and it's just like 3 minutes, I'm going to do it.
That won't happen because we don't need that $10,000. You're not going to do it. You ain't going nowhere in a bikini. See, none of that happening. None of that. Donnie Williams said, LOL. LOL. Anyway. This is an interesting little stream, wasn't it?
Yeah, we talked about a lot of things that we didn't plan to talk about.
No, it was just all over the place. Very random.
Yeah.
Very random. Should we wrap it up, or do you want to keep going?
I think we can wrap it up. It's been 2 hours and more.
Yeah, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Donnie Williams says, it's a man thing. I think that's a perfect way to summarize this stream. Just summarize the topic. Katt Williams, it's a man thing. You know what I mean? Mike Tyson twerking, it's a man thing.
I mean, I know, like, you've been silly, but you've only been silly with me.
Yeah.
And Mike just decided to be silly, just like, you know, overall.
All right. Shout out to Luca Brazzi. Enjoy the stream. Y'all watch it on the playback. Catch you next Sunday live with AKDI. Send topics, send comments. Look out for the movie reviews. Peace.